them down. So for Irina, it might be okay, but you can't have a tortoise and a hare situation. You need to keep the pace up. You cannot let sleeping dogs lie, because they will find you and they will take you out of that top spot. It's all to play for. One more Erangel today before we move on to our final set of Miramars. Don't go anywhere.
I was like placing some settings done for the job. Seven messaged me and I was like, yeah, I'll message you in a bit, and I fell asleep. Alright, chat. Let me get something to eat. Be right back, chat. Be right back.
It is time to introduce our team.
Obviously, I'm here to support Godlike Esports. This is one region that was, never considered to be very aggressive in general. But with Godlike Esports, the thinking has changed, and these guys have shown the character. Watching them perform on the biggest stage, I think it's a moment of pride and honor for us.
The team is like a very celebrated team in India. Like, it has a huge fan base, amazing lineups, amazing achievements.
Godlike got that nice nade off the top side from Adamino. It'll be a great start for Godlike. Jukes get some early energy into today's games. Oh boy!
Wow, throwing that nade up the stairs, catching him off. That's the series holding those angles. He's doing those tight peaks. He's been throwing heat-seeking missiles all game long and opening the fight for his team. A full 4v4. S2G tried to catch a couple of their players off guard.
You can't stop S-Power, and you cannot silence Godlike in this moment. Adamino for the closing play as Godlike take this chicken dinner with ease!
The most memorable event has to be the map of Rondo, where Godlike came up with 30 points. As everyone, used to call our region as not so aggressive or passive, and a lot of things like that. But again, Godlike Esports proved with their firepower and with their composure that we do have that firepower. We can also go for, big games.
It was like a very unexpected turns of event that we qualified for grand finals. Like, I don't think anyone in India or anyone in our team must have imagined us playing our first international tournament and straight up qualifying for grand finals. So when that moment happened, we all went crazy. Like, all of us, the Godlike family, everyone in India, we were all celebrating, and honestly, I will never forget that.
The fans over here, the love for the game, it has been amazing, and we are having a great time over here till now, yeah. I always had this dream to go and, visit the Eiffel Tower, and it was a dream come true moment for me.
Aurora getting a chicken dinner, but before we break down that match, we wanted to get a club championship update, and I'm joined by none other than Glitter Explosion. Some of you guys know her as Senorita Glitter. Tell us what's going on with the club championship.
All right, we're just going to do a quick update here because we've got some seriously cool stuff going on in chess. Obviously, grand finals here today. Third, fourth decider match also happened. That was between two Falcons players for third and fourth place. So it didn't matter who won. They were getting those third place points regardless. But now the finals are going on between Magnus Carlsen and Dennis Lazovic, which means AGAL have guaranteed themselves second place bare minimum. Liquid could get the win if Magnus is able to do it. But either way, that keeps AGL at the top of our leaderboard by 500 points. Now, it looks big right now, but over at the STC Arena, Falcons are still in the discussion. They're in quarterfinals. They will be facing off against Twisted Minds later on today, and if they're able to plays out.
It will be. They want to get those points as well. Before I let you go, any team that has surprised you today?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm loving the bounce back right now out of Godlike. They put some serious elims up on the board, so shout out to Godlike.
Hey, right on. Thanks. Actually, spot on. Thanks, Glitter. You can go back and just keep on looking for updates, okay? I want to see what else is going on with the other club championships, and I want to see what else is going on here at PMWC at EWC 26, because some of these squads, especially Aurora, Max, getting that chicken dinner. But before we even do that, let's talk about the PMWC Lucky Spin. Available now. You can check out the Electron Energy set, the Proton Power set, and also that Alien Fusion Grossa, which I want. And I'm still trying to get, and I'm going to continue to try to get. So make sure you guys check that out. This was co-created with PDP creator Nana. Make sure you log into PUBG Mobile, get that lucky spin before it goes away to get your PMWC swag. But now, Aurora, yes, that's right. Look at this man. This man is absolutely ready. He's been cheering for Aurora for the longest time. But Max, we got a chance to see them play that so well too, and just pretty much like a boa constrictor, just squishing everybody in.
Oh, yeah, like a snake. Well, they weren't really snaking in, actually. They were just dominating and eliminating everyone. But, like, finally, no throw from Aurora and Epchira.
Yeah.
They made it. They saw it through until the very end. And we actually see Ziola. I said he was very impressive. I wanted to see more from Reefus and Doc. We finally got it. Reefus 4 eliminations, Doc 3. But in particular, what's very important is that before going onto that ridgeline north of that road sign, Ipchira, they eliminate every single team down there, get rid of all the stragglers. You had Ulf, you had Al Ula, you had Fourth Thrives, and you also had Nongshim Red Force at one point. Get rid of all of those players before playing that ridge. That was so well executed by the boys.
Yeah, it was really nice to see that, and also learning from the Rondo, right, where they just played it way too slowly. Yes, they had more terrain to work with in this game, but you could see the momentum. They just went from 0 to 100. Once they had gotten cleared everybody, gotten all of those eliminations, they moved in and tried to corral S2G. S2G let that happen just a little bit. I would much preferred a better fight from them for sure. But for Aurora, that was much better, much more what we're used to seeing from them. This is a herding team. They control teams. Teams don't control them. And right now, this was them controlling teams.
I literally wrote down on my notes that, oh, S2G, they looked really good at that sort of northern side. This should be a nice win from them. They got the hovercraft,
Exactly.
you know. But no, I have to agree. Aurora played that incredibly well, and they were able to take that time to make that spacing. But also, did you notice like Nongshim so easy causing a little bit of chaos as the solo player between these two full teams? I mean, that was kind of crazy to see as well. I was looking at S2G obviously to have that, you know, they were denying the flank from Flash coming around to them. They had a nice 2-2 split on that north side. Soul Gang with the hovercraft, we're going to bring that up again, but yeah, a little bit rough for them. So the way that Aurora were able to calculate that with a little bit of annoyance from Nongshim so easy, great play.
Talking about Nongshim, they were able to put up some good points as well here in this match. 13 points as well with S2G, 13 points. Max, which one are you looking at? I see you ready to talk.
Yeah, because Nongshim Red Force, sure, they gave themselves 13 points. It's eliminations, 5 placement points. I feel like they threw that game. Generally, I think they could have at least bare minimum gotten a top 2 in that position, if not an actual chicken dinner. But then Furia, which is not on Longwood. They're not even on the dip on top of Longwood. Then like this one shed on a little plateau below them. And they get an opening knock, and I'm like, okay, great. Nongshim Red Force, maintain the pressure, maybe chuck a Molotov or a grenade. They fully crash the shed, and then Flash are like, what the hell are you doing? We're just going to do a counter grenade and Molotov and swipe the entirety of Nongshim Red Force. If they just held their position, they would be where So Easy was. You said So Easy was trolling. If you had a full team, they would be giga trolling. But I feel like, yeah, Nongshim Red Force, sometimes they get great games, and sometimes they do some of the biggest fumbles in a tournament. It hurts. It really does.
I think it's a great example of something that happens at every level, as we're seeing here, right? Where you get that you get tempted to actually full send into a position, but you got to really think about why that team that you're fighting fell down so easily. Generally, it's because the position is bad for one reason or another. It's very constricted there. There's a little ridge around that shack. It's very, very nadeable. Lots of areas to bounce that utility off. So if you're gonna push something like that, or if you're fighting against, hang on a second, if you're fighting against them, right, you don't push that, because then you yourself get naded as well. It's very nadeable for a reason.
Yeah, and that match was a perfect example of what can happen whenever you end up just catching up even more to that first place. Arena ended up getting 5 points. You can see Aurora Gaming just jump up to that second place with 81 points. What was a 1 point and 18-point gap to that second place has just now closed up to 9 points.
I'm so happy to see it, because we saw throughout the entirety of today, right, they were a podium team at the very start, slipping, getting almost nothing done. They were in 8th position before this game. Now with that chicken dinner rocketing right at the very top here, just behind E-Arena with their 81 points. Literally the only team single-digit points away from our current pack leader of E-Arena. But the thing is, very flash in the pan, right, Niptura? We need to see more consistency and especially not throwing games when you know you can get those wins.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. We have one more Erangel and then 2 Miramars as well. Aurora tend to do quite well on Miramar typically, so we'll see how that goes. Again, yeah, they can be very hot, very cold, so it is just down to game by game what they're gonna do. But we're looking at the second page here. Flash and Hora, 48 points each. They are looking tied right now, but there's quite a bit of a gap between them and 4Thrive, so even further down the leaderboard, we're starting to see those gaps emerge.
Yeah, Lace, for some of these teams here in the second page, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on them because at one point, we're going to have to start cutting them out because that point gap is just too much. And keep in mind, going into tomorrow, that smash roll is going to be up play and it's going to be plus 10 points of whatever first place ends up with.
Yeah, and it's strange because, like, I know me and Neptura were having a look at Godlike, right? And they're making such calculated and well played. And then I even sort of said, God damn, they're so strong as just a little duo. Why don't they just kind of like go in that little map and do their thing? But it's just unfortunate, you know, they were getting like 7 elims in that spot, but just not making it any further. And I sort of touched about that on the shared studio on the couch. It was like they're getting themselves in these great, like, close range fights, capitalizing on it, winning it. And then, like you were saying, moving back in and not, like, the other teams are sort of circulating because they're doing that too late in the game. But I do feel, we've seen it before, Aurora just did it. They can just have this great game, and that will push them up a lot further because they're getting the elims. They'll be able to do it.
And they definitely need it, especially where they are currently. We've been praising them in regards to the performance that they have had today, but we need to see a lot more out of Godlike because they are currently just so far away from the first place. And at the end of the day, you want to be in first place. That's what they're going to be hunting down. By the way, special shout out earlier on to Hot Jukes and John for casting those first 5 games. But now it's time for the main show. Yeah, it's okay. I still got you, baby. For Blank and Jackie Blank, you got me. Come on, man.
Oh, mate. All right, that's one hell of a setup. Thank you, Seven. I appreciate it. Some great points being raised there.
Indeed.
There's some good breakdown. Got all the fans, of course, enjoying themselves. Saw it over there. They had the I Love Max Man sign. We don't have one of those, unfortunately.
We've got love for snacks right now, which is cool. We've also got OG and Godlike behind, which is always good to see too. The support is unreal inside the arena at the moment, as per usual. It has been awesome all the way throughout the tournament, but we do have a lot of people with this time. So we're going to get loud. We're going to get a little bit crazy with it because I imagine to finish off the day, you know, it's been a long day, all right? We might have some mad circles to finish things off.
Yeah, do you reckon?
I reckon.
Should we make sure there's still some good energy left in the crowd? But
we could try. We could try, yeah.
Right then, Paris. A few games left to go today. Let's see how much energy we've got. Let's make some noise in the building! All right, that's what I wanted. Proud of you, Paris. You've been killing it here at PMWC, and we'll keep the commentary flowing as the games go on. We can lock in as we start to get towards the end of the day. It's been enticing, Blank. Some good quality PUBG Mobile coming out, but I'm excited to see if there's any more twists in the narrative.
That's what we're looking for. We're looking for some twists, some turns at the end of the day, some mysteries yet unsolved. As we do get back into the thick of it, we're going to be going to Erangel one last time before we head towards our final 2 Miramars to close out this mega day of PUBG Mobile. Again, like we said, Paris has been fantastic. You guys have been fantastic. The fact that you've been with us this entire time, supporting the teams the entire time. We've heard the drums. We've heard the excitement. The drums better come back, though. I'll be sad if the drums aren't in the crowd.
They're ramping, mate. They're getting ready.
They're ramping. They're getting ready to go. Doing a couple of paradiddles here and there. We got Ralph on screen explaining to his team that they're definitely not getting hot dropped over towards Pachinki. It's not happening again. Eda's had a good game now. They're like, maybe we were the problem.
Yeah, maybe we don't do that anymore. Which, honestly, I think it's a fair shout. I think, you know what, 4 different members of the talent team spoke to Ralph about that yesterday. We were kind of making sure we can get that one across as many ways as possible. It seems like the message has been sent out.
Yeah, it was like, it was coded through Ralph for Eda.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that? Ralph was very pleasant about it. He was like, I don't think they should be doing it. Like,
we keep getting points.
Yeah, they were. I mean, I think we got about 12 elims off the back of it, which is kind of sick, honestly. It's a good amount of points. We do get our plane path down from the south side all the way to the north. You see there, Eren and Scarface currently topping the leaderboard in terms of damage, which is a surprising statistic for me. They've been very, very consistent throughout. I'm glad to see Eren there. Hasn't quite beaten out Scarface just yet, but I'm glad that Scarface has been the rock so far for Ulf. He has kept that team steady throughout. The suspension system for the Ulf vehicle, which will need to make a move down towards the south side of the map, but it gives a good game here for Aurora, who have been baiting us for multiple years for a massive win at an international, and they might just be giving us it here at PMWC, at EWC 2026.
God, we keep getting these sort of circles, man. Once again, right, you hit the nail on the head. It's happened. Suznovka, the military island in play. Like you said, maybe this is the blessing. Like, perfect drop spot, perfect end game potentially for a team like Aurora, who do feel like they've kind of locked it in a bit. So we'll see. We'll stick with it. Potential for a lot of early fights. You got Flash taking on OG early as Aru's already down. Tiamba amongst it as well. A couple of squads looking to get stuck in instantly then.
The revolver to the dome there. Well, unfortunate for guys over on OG. Flash seems okay though, get themselves back up on their feet. Like you say though, we got Aura on screen. Eagle. Explosive bow. Almost hit it as well. A little bit of pinpoint accuracy with the arrows. Jiggle. Dropping some ammo across. Everyone's a little bit low right now. Level 1 vest, a little bit difficult. I might be actually just dropping some of the bandies over. Well, Sleepy is having a troublesome time getting towards them. I think he's in an awkward spot. Sky, though, is coming in from the other side of things. He's over towards the north side of Severny, so this is a long exit for both squads. I don't think any team wants to be here. Tiamba, as well as Aura, stuck in this awkward engagement. Eagle with a Honey Badger at distance on the sidelines. E-Arena also swinging by, but they should get gone.
Very much an early stalemate that no one really wants to overly commit to. Be that first domino to fall, it's going to be a nightmare. You want to get out of this very cleanly as well. Losing one or at worst two players, even if you do take down the other squad and get a full 4 points from it, this is going to be a major detriment to your run with how few games we have left today.
Yeah. Well, I think the big thing though for this in particular is the plane path from the south side up towards the north, and because we had this big southern circle that is pretty much committed to Sosnovka. This is not going anywhere else.
Yeah.
It meant that a lot of teams dropped out early on the plane path to get looted up early. So you do have the likes of S2G, Aurora, Four Thrives, Ida, Alula, as well as Nongshim Red Force already in Sosnovka. This place is getting very busy very quickly. Tiamba moves up. Ahora's already getting themselves into a vehicle. Uzi in play, tries to get the damage across. There will be a shot from Shallow though. Really good stuff there with the QBZ. Get some damage in. Jiggle. Line and wait. Could be a dangerous trap in play. QZZ trying to get around the side. Eagle will just run down Sleepy. They don't know. They do not know. He is hidden, blending in to the rust.
Man, how has he got away with this for so long? He's just there, down on the deck. No one knows about Jiggle.
Come on. Come on.
Pistol. Come on. The sidearm.
There's... Are you blind?
He's a master of camouflage. That's insane. Wow, they actually leave. They actually go.
That's wild. We're playing some kind of game where you go in as a small white man and you have to be painted against things. And he's done exactly that.
Unbelievable.
I can't believe he's become the chameleon in that situation. That's wild. But well played to him.
Yeah, mega mechanics there.
I think that counts as mechanics.
Artistry.
He's prone. That's a lovely prone. That
Never
is
seen anything like
a
it.
beautiful prone on him.
Got away with that one. Liberties.
Yeah.
Absolute liberties.
Oh, dear me. PUBG Mobile Chameleon. Right here, right now, at PMWC. If you want to get yourself some skins to allow you to blend in, well, this is not the one for you, because the Uzumaki Naruto event is now on with the Naruto character set, as well as the Ninetales Fury Org. And it's Power bringing a lot of fury to the lobby at the moment as well.
talking to Max earlier, he was saying that S-Power right now probably the only player at a massively global level. And I would agree with him. I think he is on the likes of, you know, your Mormons, your Errands. He's looking insane. Yeah, for S-Power, doing great work for the rest of his team. I think Godlike has really shown that they absolutely can take it to task with some of the best squads in the world, which is cool to see. Satan here from Nigma Galaxy. Another team that's doing really well too. I genuinely think, and I said at the start of the day, is that I've not always been the biggest fan of Nigma Galaxy and some of the pushes, some of the rotates they make. I think they have a lot of potential in them. This tournament though has been, you know, it's been off the walls, just like this, because this is wild.
It's just ridiculous how close he came when he drove past him twice.
He's twitching as well.
Yeah, I know. Not even fully stationary. Look at him. He's got a slight shifty look about him.
He's put the laser pointer down to the ground. He's like, oh.
Nightmare. They're going to see that.
Put that away.
Well, hey ho, that one worked out. Didn't expect it, but master of camouflage
He
there.
even try to give himself away. I mean, the laser pointer really. That's sent me. That's good. Ah, that's a belly of laughs right there. A lot of teams now getting in position though. Furia looking to cross. Haven't had a really bad day today, honestly. I think genuinely Furia has been looking better and better as the tournament does go on. More shades of the past from them. PMMI, where they look very, very strong there. And they're bringing it back. I think that they just had to slow down their gameplay a little bit because their end games aren't nice. That's where they typically thrive. But now they're coming up against Alula, the Claws versus the Panthers here.
Giving us the proverbial question of which set of claws are sharper.
Are they both depicting Panthers though? Because that would be...
Maybe a Jaguar.
Maybe a Jaguar, yeah. Like that.
Keep you guessing. You never know. Battle of the Animal Kingdom. Oh, S-Power with a nice little lift there. That's a 5-pointer.
X5 on that one. A lot of airtime.
It's a great multiplier.
It was a great multiplier. I like that. Anyway, we get next circle.
We've seen this before.
You didn't hear. I don't know if you could hear that, but there was audible disappointment from the crowd. Everyone was oohing and ahhing at that one. Does head out far towards that west side. Really uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. Ida's already good spot, though. The rest of the team, I would probably say to try and regroup soon, though. Nongshim Red Force has played a similar position to this in the past on this exact spot that Tizzy is currently actually located on with XZY. So I think they'll just try and secure that going forward. They might even try and take the compound that Vitality won on during this map before as well. We'll see what they do. Can't be too greedy though, because again, like I said earlier, it's very busy in Sosnovka. A lot of teams here.
It's going to get pretty aggressive down there where things do kick off, especially with how this zone shifted, man. Cutting out a lot of that play space once again. So you're fighting around the bridge, you're fighting on the island. Like you touched on, even just a couple minutes into this game, with how close they were off the playing path, a lot of squads did already make their mass migration down and start to try and dig their heels in a little bit. You've got a few squads that are still outside in the mainland towards the blue, having a bit of a slower rotate. A lot of traffic as well on the bridge over to Sosnovka. Furia there, as we saw that establishing shot with Alula just ahead, guarding the entrance. It's then Vitality behind them, and similarly Flash behind them as well.
Yeah, Fury's getting squeezed like a fruit right now. It's not looking good for them. They're getting pushed down by Vitality and Flash behind that as well. So this is an awkward approach. They would like to get across, but I don't think Alula's going to let them across so easily. Igor's is far up though, so he just needs an opener. And Alula looks to be leaving. I think that's the correct decision at this time, just because the circle did push so far over towards the western side. You don't want to get left behind. E-Arena still being here is somewhat of a question mark, but if they knew they could hold out a team over towards Box Compound, sure, why not? It is quite cruel towards Tiamba, but this is the name of the game. You pick up the points where you can, and right now, E-Arena's doing a good job of it.
And Tourniquet there. Up on the top side of the rock face, spamming down into Aching, and will leave him wounded off the back of that. QZZ already knocked, rest of the squad following in their footsteps. This is a brutal start for Tiamba, and one by one they fall. So E-Arena find them outside and dispatch them with ease there. Another 4 points on top. That's a 94-point total over the course of today's games.
It's a strange one, right? Because they both started up over towards Severny, Didora, as well as Tiamba. Tiamba swings wide over towards North George. Flash does take a knock there, and probably a flush too. This is over towards the fight on the bridge side, so we'll come back to Tiamba in just a second. Axel low, Crazy on bended knee. P90 in play at this early in the game as well. Good to see.
Ooh, trying to run back through, but Razak just goes straight into the crosshairs, and one by one, this is looking a bit more uncomfortable. Nice backstab, though, from Axel. Quick switch over to the shotgun through the window. Throws the first man down on the deck. Still has some firepower to play with. Zone nipping at their heels. Razy out of the running. Razak knocked. Axel looking to defend. Throws the nade deep. Thankfully for Bowles, he was able to reposition. That one isn't going to hit him just yet. Ooh, he's closing the distance, though. Wants to really get in there.
Oh, wow. My God.
Response back from Axel's quick. And he can get the meds in as well, Blank.
Vexy should just about hit this. It's close, but picks itself back up again. We'll go for the res over towards Razak. This is a good recovery right now from Vitality. Sadly for them, Aura has made an incredible run down from that northern side. They are fast in position. Bozy is down. Enigma Galaxy currently holding out Ulf. Got Lord up on high. Ketch has no idea. Caught in the broadside. Will get taken down, but a lovely refrag coming through from Eren. Ulf likely will now play on as 3. It's look worse and worse as time goes down. Lord the only to fall here, and Ulf has been very much struggling to pass on by through Enigma Galaxies. The circle in the meantime did move further down towards the south. IQ taking a tumble though. What's happened there?
Yeah, this is not the dream at all. Ooh, Lord's actually trying to dismount towards the top side, so if maybe they do win out on this fight, somehow they can grab him back up. Oh, good read onto Scarface. Ralph ready for the encounter. Bullets being peppered. He gets him so dangerously low, but he's still standing. He can just tuck in behind the box now. Oh, well, that would have been the operative word. Could have tucked in behind the box. Not going to happen now. Laid out by Ralph. Satan with a re-aggression as well. And this is starting to turn. That's the way Ulf go down. They started out with a bit of a recovery, but finally finished by Enigma Galaxy. Only one player cut short from the roster there. They'll carry on as a trio. Meanwhile, amidst this, we have Vitality bringing the thunder back onto Hora.
It's been a while since I've been seeing Vexy on the main stage, but still got it in him, it seems. Razak does go down, and looks like Vitality might just want to be making the cross going forward. Looks for Sky. Vexy will pick him up, doing a great job here. Settling in for Federalis. Oh, wow. I mean, good job. Really, really well done here from Vexy. I mean, multiple times keeping the team awake and in play, even versus Flash earlier on. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, big step up. Brilliant individual moments there. Zone crunching in a little bit as well. Ooh, Vitality suffering casualties, it seems, with the Elim feed lighting up. That's Flash that are trying to defend the entryway over the bridge. Another headshot from Tops has shut down Vexy after the good form we saw from him, and Axel has fallen due to the damage sustained. The zone eliminates him, and Vitality finally buckle.
Yeah, it's just, there wasn't a lot of boat rotates from a lot of these teams on that north side. Spent a long, long time looting up. I don't think they were quite prepared for how southern this circle was going to end up going and how quickly space was going to be taken out of play. But we are in a really awkward arena of the map as we head down towards the southwest side. There's a couple of compounds around here, a lot of open space going forward. Ralph moves up to the plate here. Tony K goes down first. Good shots from him. Will finally fall there to a sideline. But Mormon just cannot hold on. In comes Godlike. They don't care, they're going straight past.
We hear the Godlike theme music start playing. They want to cash this one in as they drive past, steal Elims where possible, but focus on the bigger picture, getting into the zone and starting to advance into an actual controllable position on this one. Coop's going right back towards them. They're going to pass each other.
Okay. friendly handshake there. Felt like I was in Interstellar for a second. Yeah, Coops looking further to pick up his teammates, but actually went back for some more. Satan, I think, is back up again. Not sure about Ralph. I think Ralph did fall down, but this has been a really good game from Ralph. I think it's not, I don't want to say rare, but he's been making some good flex outs this game. Sometimes his flex out can feel a little bit questionable. This time I was super happy with him, blasting the toe caps off of Scarface as well. It was really incredible to see. Just give it one more bullet, and that was enough. Hazaifa up on top. Godlike tried to send it. Got further and further in, but Hazaifa laying down the law.
It's a great peak. Might actually be able to double down, and he certainly will. Godlike eating the bullets from the elevated peak there of 4 frags as Hazaifa starts to bring the heat to the battleground. Enigma Galaxy got back in towards the zone. This is their POV now. They actually run into Ida of all teams once more. Coop's going to be hit by the shotty. The pump takes him down. And that's the way that one goes. Unraveling them. Ida eliminated. We saw Flash falling amidst all this. But Aurora getting eyes on it from so close. They were able to steal a couple points away. Put Enigma Galaxy back down in the dirt. 3 Elim points on them.
I still think, though, for Enigma Galaxy, what a game. What a game, honestly. It was a real tough scenario they went through. They end the match on 10 Elims. I think that's a good profit. I think you come away with this one thinking to yourself, we went through hell and back just to get towards this location of the map, and we still came away with 11 points total. So very, very well done. Because we do only have 6 teams left at the 17-minute mark. This is the quickest we've seen the lobby cold before, off the back of a really horrendous circle. S2G set themselves up, kamikaze as per usual, flying in towards those front lines.
S2G just cleaning house on Alula. They've gone down pretty swiftly. Ooh, Furia might actually get a bit of a read on this, though, with the forward scout we've got from Ayala in the back of the vehicle. So a lot of sight lines being opened up between our squads. Aurora still got space to play with. In the grand scheme of things, it's been a little bit quieter on the Elim front for Nonshim, but they're still in the running of the conversation. They've had some good consistent finishes today. It's felt like it's all been coming together communication-wise when they get a good angle to play off in these games.
Well, Hyunbin's basically the crowbar of South Korea right now.
He's been cracking these lobbies open.
He has been cracking the lobbies open. It's good to see. And I think the rest of the team rallies around that. So easy. He's been very, very nice on those long sight lines. We've got to come up against Aurora, though. Aurora's starting to really feel it. And despite having a lot of weird finishes, where second places, where they should have won, especially versus Nongshim Red Force earlier today, they would have been far and away at the top of the leaderboard. Some moments where Aurora just can't quite finish the job. Even then, the consistency has been good, so it's an impressive showing from them. But we have that rivalry back up to bat once again here between Nongshim Red Force and Aurora, but shots coming from the sidelines does make things awkward.
Oh, nade right over the top. That's Doc that looks to hit them heavy. And if Doc's fired up, mate, Aurora might keep the pace on pretty swift on this one. Fury just off in the distance, haven't overcommitted to anything just yet. Hyunbin still up and kicking. They got height on it. Just can't really afford to overextend too far. Get caught sleeping. This could be a big unraveling for that side. Tizzy's got to bandage himself back up to stay pretty in the situation he's been left in. Aurora are aware of that angle from Furia, at least. 3 smokes for Tizzy being the difference between a raw face from Refus potentially coming their way.
I think the problem right now is absolutely that angle you're talking about between Furia over towards Aurora. You've got Top off in the distance there, currently holding on alongside with Zhou. They look to make the move out, but Furia had that angle on. One player very low in the back of the vehicle. I believe that is Yol at the moment. Can't quite find the next shots, and Ayala is playing it very safe. The angle over towards this way, but Tizzy with nasty nade goes straight through the side mirror window.
Oh. Response back over, they dash some nades of their own on target, but it's actually a response from 4 Fribes. Pulling up to the party, looking to third party on this one.
Aurora trying to withstand. Nonshin going down as the last man, and So Easy will collapse from it. Doc already piecing out. Ooh, mate, that's the rotate straight into the camp of Furia.
That is very on point for Doc.
He's got that Doc in him.
Yeah, that's the brand right there. Moved instantly over towards Furia, held that angle, made them feel a little bit afraid, right? S2G still got Kamikaze swinging, layering in the vehicles. Circle moves over towards Kamikaze. You can hear Turkish fans for S2G a little bit loud themselves. Hamzi finds a shot over towards Hazaifa. That's on the roadside, and a horrible time for it to happen. But it's all popping off now. Reefus up first, nade in hand, looking over towards Ayla, very low. Chief pulled the pin, but a little late. Solke runs through the both of them.
Oh, mate, the car's done enough just with the bonnet. He's dived out with the shotgun in his hand, vehicle burning behind him. Squad mates falling around as the shots are being spammed. Quick turn, finds that one, throws Furia out of the running.
This is the best Solke's looked in quite a while, actually. I think that he's getting a little bit more of that aggression on board. I think a lot of times he was relegated to being this anchor player. So it's nice to see him, you know, channeling a bit of that Silas going forward as S2G gets the ambulance out, pulls out the rest of their team, gets them res and back up into a position to fight. Not taking any chances on this one. Went out for the first aid kit. A necessary first aid kit in the moment. The med kit taking him to full. Requires Doc to put a little bit of extra work in.
I'm shocked he survived that long. Reefus had the peak up at first. Left him sweating bullets, like you say. The clutch heal barely buying him enough time to stay along for a few extra seconds. Now knocked behind the vehicle.
It's a bold maneuver from Solke, but does drag him from the rest of the team. Likely leaving S2G as a three-man, but they have the compound central. See where the next circle heads over towards. They can play off the back of that, but it's going to be Aurora. 4 thrives. Ping-ponging between one another. Taking some pot shots at S2G in the meantime.
Hard confirm with the nades thrown over, so much so that Doc nearly went down from the danger close of his team. Luckily does have the meds to fix himself with no one nearby to convert from the lower HP he had. But you're spot on, mate. We heard the excitement from the fans. You can see why. S2G, they were playing with some confidence, some aggression. Previously, it's been Kamikaze that reps himself in those situations. This time around, he plays close to the squad. They control the compound, but you're going to be pushed from 2 sides.
Difficulty with this compound as well. There's a lot of space to control here. There's a lot of space to control. There's some flat walls to work off the back of. So teams could send in over towards one side. And having a 3-man inside there means they cannot control every building effectively. So these 2 on the side here. This is over towards the eastern edge. Sat on Aurora's angle. Possibility to move in. Oh, S2G's just got to be very quick with this, but you know as soon as someone makes a move for that compound, the other team is going to fly on in. They're likely just going to wait this out until the circle confirms this is a definite compound finish.
Don't invest your eggs into one basket until you know. A few seconds. Out from that zone crunching. We'll see if it's going to favor S2G once again. Shifts slightly off it, Blank pulls away.
It's nasty. Up towards that north side. Aurora looking to get a chicken under the belt here. Would likely slingshot them up towards first on the rankings. Despite what has been, honestly, a hairy day for them. It really has. There's been some moments where the question marks have been flung out left, right, and center for this squad, but still, they've been keeping themselves looking pretty, bandaging up between the matches.
Blessing of it as well with the zone shifting. That crate that came in, you can see that Top & Co were able to push over, get an early duo onto that, grab some extra bits and bobs to armor themselves what could be quite an intense final fight once they now get attention from 4 Thrives and S2G.
They've got a full four-man squad, similar, four Fribes, and they're going to jump in the vehicle, start to advance on this. Oh, that's not what you want. Reefus with a snapshot. Falak falls instantly. He's got some cover to play off here as well, Blank.
T24, he's just out. He said, I am not being on that buggy anymore. I'm dropping straight to the ground. And I think it was the correct choice. Being on the back of a buggy like that makes you a prime target. And he's just realized that Reefus has got the golden eye there. Quick shots, pinpoint as well as IQ desperately tries to swing around the side. This is a mad dash and one that will not work out in the face of Aurora. More points added and S2G can do nothing but look on. They actually get themselves into vehicles. They're going to swing round. They have to take the moment here into their own hands. Last game, Aurora, they were able to do some good work versus them. Now looking to actually show some aggression. Reefus goes down first.
Good engage, but how long can they hold on? Kamikaze in the back wants to arc the nade over, has the SMG to play with, one thrown right back towards him. Doc putting them down with the DBS. Panic stations for Aurora as everything is being thrown out. Doc takes a heavy hit, but he's still standing.
S2G down to 2. Hamzy G on the north side. Kamikaze lighting them up. T24 still off in the distance, dealing with top here, and Kamikaze takes nade after nade. This bounces, but should go a little bit long here, keeping Kamikaze at a half HP count.
Oh, T24 as well in the midst of all this. That's the off angle you touched on there. Able to strike from the side. Kamikaze replies with one of his own, and these two teams are coming together to make it uncomfortable for Aurora. Doc with a nade, trying to cook that one. Meanwhile, they respond back onto 4 Fribes as they throw that in. T24 behind the tree.
Doc now worried. Split the difference between 2 players here. Not easy to regroup. Another nade in the hand of T24. Sent it across. Doc is down. The other might fall to the nade from across the way, but seems like he lived it. S2G playing the game of their lives right now.
S2G,
such a quick swing, Jackie, as well. Love to see it.
This is huge from them. Complete different play style. The confidence out in full force. Right time, right place, and the back door has worked out well. Top trapped, T24 spamming so close to him. He knows he's exposed. And this duo from S2G looking to take this one with force, but they still play it smart.
Makes the run across right now, trying to deny sight lines. Aurora, top will at least find it, but the shots are coming through. Kamikaze once again sends straight center. It starts to work out. Nate gets close to the lovely bouncer on it, but won't go quite far enough. Back behind the loot crate. A little bit of cover to work with, but S2G, they've got 2 angles. Top is gonna have to play out of his mind to make this one work here. 1 first aid kit ready to go. Hamzy G looks to send an arc over the top here to finish off the game. Goes wide to the side.
He's really trying to run the risk on this one. He peeks
Good
over
shot.
the top of the crate, using the smoke to block the angle from Hamzy G so he can take an isolated fight. He's reading it as well. This 1v2, like you say, it's got to be impeccable from him. He cannot afford to miss a single shot. The reactions are going to be there. Kamikaze on the road, slight height advantage. Throws in the molly, takes the bar shot, and that's how he gets it done. Kamikaze cleans up as S2G get it!
Last game, S2G, they looked a little bit short there, but this game, they go Kamikaze, Kama-crazy for the finish. What a game, not lazy whatsoever, with a quick swing out to the side. You gotta love it, you gotta believe it, S2G is here to play.
We thought it was Aurora about to blot out the sun and cast the shadow, illuminate the stage, but no, it's S2G that once again prove how much of a powerhouse they could be here in France.
T24 as well, man, the jump out the buggy to sit down on the floor, I couldn't believe that. I mean, he made a quick snap decision. Like, lads, I'm gonna have to live this game out. I'm dropping into the grass, and I'm gonna cause problems.
You can feel the energy in the arena as well. We get the replay from that one. Some big individual maneuvers. I love the strategy as well, Blank. S2G here, the way they were able to control the situation, knowing they had to be so proactive, but didn't overstep the mark. And then on the flip side for Aurora, you're playing with dice, gambling on some of these peaks, knowing realistically, it's a risk that you have to take. It's not an easy 1v2.
It was actually a very difficult circle, and yes, it pulled away, but they were unsure where they wanted to fight out towards, and maybe they had to full commit over towards Fourth Drive, clear that angle sooner to deal with S2G. But again, for S2G as a three-man there, they make the only decision they can. It's been something they've been saying all tournament, is we just don't care. We will just push those angles. We will try and get something done in those end games. And it was lovely to see them prove that immediately after that last game where they sort of just laid down over on Arundel. Didn't quite let that game fall into hands. This time around, they leave nothing up to chance.
I think that does summarize the play style realistically. This point in the competition, after so many play days, so close towards the real big picture. That prize pool looming over you, you can't afford to have any doubts in your mind. Leave it to another team and your dream could be snatched away. Whereas for S2G, they've been rising to the occasion, and that oomph, that killer instinct, that's what's giving them these leg ups.
Absolutely, and in the end, for S2G, this isn't even their best map, man. They live it on Miramar. This is where they usually thrive. So to have some good moments here over on Erangel is lovely to see. Again, a couple of our teams really making their mark right now. Fourth Drive still playing really well. Honestly, for them, I think even that early game where we saw Hazaifa playing the big Lions Rock, where he could just have that oversight, knew exactly what they had to do. As teams flowed in, just deny them. But we do have Kalaris over on the stage for a little hit with the players.
Kalaris here, reporter for PUBG Mobile here at PMWC, and a major problem has occurred. It seems we've let one of our commentators out in the wild here, and we've got to actually wrangle him and get him back in. So it looks like maybe a little bit of movement's going on here, actually. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to capture him. This is the problem with commentators. A lot of the times, they just go wild. They somehow get it. He's on the move. He's on the move. Okay, no, we've actually got to be able to try and find him as quickly as possible here. He seems to be hiding. I'm not exactly sure if we're going to be able to capture him. This specimen, in fact, actually has a microphone already. You can see he's dangerous. He's very dangerous. He has a microphone already. That means he's actually ripe for the commentator desk already. They might be able to actually capture him here. They've caught him cornered a little bit. I don't think he's very interested in it, but he might take to it. Let's see if we can place down some bait or something like that. Some bait actually might be able to work. Usually chicken dinners are the prime meal of a commentator here for PUBG Mobile. Will they be able to make it happen? This is a tense moment. John Allen? It looks, I think they might actually have it. They might have it. They might have the John Allen. It looks like, oh, did you see that? Get a close-up of that. Get a close-up of that. I think they've got him. I think they've got him. Unbelievable scenes here at PMWC. Oh, that was close.
Nişan alma aldım. Dürbün. Adam vurma. Araba sürüyor. Araba sürüyor. Araba patlatmak. Araba tarıyor. Araba sprey atmak. Konuş. Araba sprey atmak. Sprey atıyor. Oyuncu. Drive-by. Oyuncu. Araba giderken vurmak. Drive-by'da adam vurmak. Headshot. Arabada giderken drive-by'e headshot atmak. Canı bir. Araba iptal. Araba yok. Araba iptal. Niye araba sürüyorsun o zaman? Sen. Ben. Takım arkadaşın. Bekle. O. Düşman. Tamam ikiniz. Çatışıyorsunuz. Tamam. Fight'tasınız. Cross koyuyorsun. Cross koyuyorsun aynen. Tamam. Sen. Beklemek. Beklemek. Ben bildim beklemek. Araba sürüyorsun. Evet. Durdun. Benzini bitti. Benzin mi? Ben. Geç. IGL yani. Kaptan. Info. Konuşuyor. Analiz. Info almak. Analiz. Boş dolu info. Boş. Boş ev. Boş loot. Loot aramak. Pusu yemek. Pusu mu? Tabak yemek. Ev boş diye gittin mi nak yedin. Yiğit abi. IDL. Harita ben. Şişko. Alan. Circle. Alan ortası. Çift attı. Arşif. Arşif de. Tamam. Loot aldın. NF5K. Silah aldın. NF5K. Hafif makineli. Skoplu. 0. Thompson. Iron sight. 8. Dürbün. 2x. Tamam dürbün. Beline koydun. C9. Ok, arbelet oku. E90. Uzi. E90. Vektör. Kapıyı açtın. Loot aldın. Dürbün. Skop takamıyorsun o silahı. Doğru mu?
Hi, Kalaris here at PMWC, down on the stage to talk to Nongshim Red Force. Hyunbin here to talk about some of the games from today. First questions first. I want to ask you guys about the previous Erangel, not just this one. You guys pushed Furia. Talk to me about that decision and if you'd have maybe done it differently in another scenario.
일단 현배 선수 첫 번째 질문은 일단 이전 매치로 좀 가볼게요. 사실 그전 에란겔에서 유리한 고지를 좀 먹고 있었는데 아래에 있던 퓨리아를 이제 잡으려다가 좀 판이 좀 아쉽게 돌아갔거든요. 그래서 퓨리아 때 좀 어떤 콜이 나왔는지, 퓨리아를 밀러갈 때 어떤 콜이 나왔는지, 그리고 만약에 그 판을 좀 다시 하게 된다면 좀 어떤 콜을 내렸을지 좀 그걸 묻고 싶네요.
일단은 저희가 오른쪽에 한 팀 더 있는 거 알았어갖고 좀 한 팀 교전하면 한 팀 무조건 올 거라는 거 알고 저희 팀원이 1평을 둘을 입혔어갖고 가갖고 잡은 게 일단 맞는 플레이를 한 것 같습니다.
Yeah, I mean, we already knew like if we're going to push Furia, then the other party would come. So we tried to push it as fast as possible. But I think if we, I think we'll end up in retrospect, I think we should have just let him just use that 1 feet place, and then just we can hold on to our spaces and would much use it wiser.
Okay, so let's talk about the Rondo game, because that Rondo was amazing from Nongshim Red Force. So talk to me about any potential threats that you had to consider whilst playing out that game, as well as the end where you were able to pull off an amazing victory.
이제 론도에서는 사실 정말 키를 쓸어 담으시면서 또 치킨까지 가져가셨는데 그때 좀 어떤 마음가짐으로 플레이를 하셨는지, 그리고 뭐 부담감이나 압박감 같은 건 없으셨는지 궁금합니다.
부담감이나 압박감 같은 거는 없었고 일단 교전 부분에서는 저희 팀이 가장 자신 있었기 때문에 쫄지 않고 자신감 있게 했던 것 같습니다.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't any pressure at all. Honestly, we were very confident in our team fights. So yeah, we tried to get it head on, and then I think that worked really well.
Thank you very much for joining me, Hyunbin. Thank you very much, Maddox. That does it for us down on the stage.
Thank you, Kalaris, for that interview. A marathon of a day that we're having here, as 6 matches have already been played, and S2G has been able to go now back to back with those chicken dinners. We still have 2 more matches to go here, but honestly, S2G, this bounce back inhibitor out of them.
Quite literally a bounce back. All these nades coming in clutch here for S2G. Very, very good sign for them. They're climbing up those ranks. That should put them theoretically in that that first place, but we'll wait for the overalls to confirm that. But it's looking very, very good for them. With just 2 more Miramars to go, S2G, they are a Miramar team. It looks like, hey, maybe we'll have another. Oh, we already do. Well, no, that's the match ranking.
No, that's the match ranking.
Whoa,
Calm down, calm down.
hold up.
I'll give you a chance before or after this to do some prediction. But yeah, S2G putting up those 19 points. Aurora Gaming though, Aurora Gaming, I can probably end up guaranteeing it that after this match, when we do end up seeing the Aurora, they'll probably end up being in first place, Max.
They go from 8th position, then of course they get that huge game earlier on their angle. They gave themselves 2nd place, and now maybe the jump into number 1, which maybe it's
the most Aurora thing we have seen, right?
Yes, it is the most Aurora thing, and you know what's also Aurora thing to do? After that, dropping down to like outside of top 5.
Wow.
I'm just saying they've done it before. They could do it again here, but no, overall some of these plays are interesting. But I want you and me, Niptro, to break down what happened here, because you and me, we're talking about some of the finishing moments here, but this 4 Thrives push, in particular to the western side, I feel like could have been executed way better on the Pakistani end of things.
Listen, I was on the edge of my seat screaming at the television because I was like, okay, guys, they just need to hold. They just need to hold. They go up around onto a third-party position. They're playing this very, very well. The zone just goes complete opposite, and they're like, absolutely not. You're not getting this win. I'm like, okay, this is tough, right? But they could still make this work. And then they just do nothing with it. They wait far too long. The indecision is right back where we started. And to top it all off, rather than making a very decisive play and just full sending it, they stop really, really short, slow down, allow Top and the rest of Aurora just go all over it and go, no, you're not coming over here. What were you even thinking for Thrives? And honestly, I have to say the same thing.
I mean, really, you hit the nail on the head right there, which is they slowed down. And that was the big mistake. At that point, just capitalize, commit. Even if you get eliminated, I'll respect you a lot more for at least trying to go the entire way, because if you do so, you get rid on the western side. I think it was Doc and possibly Top at that point, which you get rid of those 2 players. Guess what? You got a decent dip to work around. It's still not sure you're going to get the chicken dinner, but at least you have that opportunity to go the entire way and actually get yourself that chicken dinner. So 4 Thrives, still good points on the board, but they could have gone in a bit more in this match.
Yeah, they could have gotten a little bit more. And once again, that indecision, you guys highlighted it too. I just want to back you up with it, because that's been the biggest question mark for this team for 4 Thrives. We've seen good performances out of them so far, and you know what? Let's take a look at it again, because you can see right there when the air is stopping, that's when they question themselves in the tour. And we were all hoping that they would just fully send it.
And you know what's crazy is T24 actually got a solid finish. He tried his best from that position. If they had just gone a little bit further, kept 2, maybe 3 players up in that position, Top would have had a real run for his money. As it was, T24 was making it very hard for Top to even survive as far as he did. So yeah, I think it's such a wasted opportunity from them just by slowing down the middle of the field like that. It's far too open, and Aurora of all teams is going to be all over that.
It's still a team that feels like they're getting their bearings, especially here in day 2. We've seen a great performance though, and a great switch too from 4 Thrives. From what we saw yesterday to what we're seeing now, more players are performing. It's not just Balak. Now we have also seen IQ earlier in the day as well. I want to see some of the other players being able to stand up as Aurora Gaming jumps up to that first place. E-Arena goes down to that 2nd. And what happens when you go back-to-back chicken dinners? That's right, you jump up that leaderboard and you end up in 3rd place.
We're seeing what they did in their group stage. Literally the same thing, right? Just coming back is just Ida staying at the bottom. Otherwise, S2G are making it happen for themselves. Loving it. E-Arena still getting a few points pretty consistently throughout the day, but when you get bangers like that from Aurora Gaming, oh my goodness, they are looking fantastic with the eliminations in particular that we saw earlier today, right, Niptura? Placement points were fine, but the eliminations, they were a little bit lackluster in some of those matches. Man, they're putting up big number after big number after absolutely big number. Big number. Yeah.
It's the momentum that we saw yesterday from that one Erangel game, right, with the 2 hovercrafts. S2G just bullying the lobby with those. No hovercrafts today in the same fashion, but still managing to get that chicken dinner back to back. That's going to be looking very good for them there.
One thing's actually scary right now, and I'm starting to realize it. I know we kind of joke about Aurora, the inconsistencies that we have seen out of this team, but for this team, one thing that has been consistent for them is their placement. At one point, we were kind of critiquing where those eliminations elims are going to be coming in. Their placement points have been there. The eliminations now are starting to get picked up here in the second day as well. And this team is looking like a team that wants to become a champion.
They're like 4 placement points away. S2G, they got 3 wins, by the way, which is an insane ratio to have. So definitely
Aurora only has 1.
Exactly, exactly. They do only have 1 chicken dinner, so that's some very consistent stuff on board. That I'm looking at a team that it's kind of the opposite from Aurora, which is Ulf, right? They had a massive rise. They got that chicken dinner with a 4-man finish on Erangel. And after that, their second place, falling down very slowly now in the middle pack, but though we're on the second page, big upset Santiamba, just not able to maintain that top position 7, which is heartbreaking for this team.
Tiamba was one of those biggest question marks for us, especially because of the way that they ended up performing yesterday. We saw Milu being able to pop off. Today is not the same performance out of their squad. We knew that they have the fragging power, but those placement points were just non-existent, and right now, nothing's going their way.
Nothing is going their way. I mean, you're seeing them there with 9th place there, 63 total points, 14 placement points.
I thought you were going to go with that catwalk again. This will be the perfect time.
Not this time, maybe later. But yeah, no, the only thing we can hope to see is that they come back tomorrow stronger, fighting, able to do what we know they can do. I mean, they go into teams and crush them in seconds. I mean, it's easy for them, but just not today. It's just all over the place.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's a new day.
It is. I mean, I'm looking at a team in particular on the second page that I've been a little bit disappointed by is Vitality. After their opening day in the group stage, I was like, yeah, Vitality, we're looking so good, so much domination. Everyone looking so good. They even swapped out Federalis, right, for Vexy, which I was like, that was quite an interesting decision to make. But man, oh man, that was really just a flash in the pan. They had that one insane day, and this, of course, it's hard to replicate, but they're not even getting close to that initial performance on that opening day of their group. I would love to see it come back from my boys, Razy Razak, but so far it's been a bit of a non-performance in the finals.
Another team along those lines as well is Team Flash. Team Flash has currently been non-existent for this squad. In the last game, though, I do want to highlight something for one team that was able to perform well, that was able to put up those points, and it was none other than Enigma Galaxy. If I'm not mistaken, Enigma Galaxy ended up with 10 eliminations, and that's good because that's a squad that has been consistent now 2 days in a row.
It is, yeah. They had a really nice 2-2 split on the southwest side of zone that really enabled them to get a lot of those eliminations, and even if they didn't make it further into the zone, further into the game, you know, they're just ticking along. They're making sure that they're consistent with those points, ready for tomorrow for those last few matches where they might just win it all.
Well, we have now hit 6 matches, but we still got 2 more matches left. Miramar is going to be coming up. Are these players going to start crumbling, or are they going to start shining, as we have seen some of the other players start shining as well? Let's send it over to 2 men that are definitely shining, none other than Blank and Jackie.
Thank you, Seven. That's right, we've had to tone it down slightly because we're blinding the crowd, so don't worry. The spotlight, of course, will be on the incredible plays that are being made by teams much like S2G. Huge show up into that previous game, displaying an unfathomable level of aggression that is really doing wonders for them. But this lobby doesn't get any easier, Blank. We've got a ton of talent here. It's been ramping throughout the whole competition. We're coming close now to the end of day 2 of finals. And this is where I feel like if another squad's going to step up and try and challenge, it'd be right here when we change the scenery and move into Miramar.
And move it towards the dusty desert, and you're right. On this scenery change, teams will need to paint a very different picture on the leaderboards. We're getting closer to setting that boundary for tomorrow for Smash ruling. Potentially a team's able to pick it up very early tomorrow. But the amount of chicken dinners that S2G's got, I mean, it's very much a possibility for them to make that happen. They've been very consistent so far. Loving how aggro Kamikaze's been too. We get a very, very northern start here over on the northwest side down towards Truck Stop. So a little bit more inaccessible down towards that south side. We're looking at Los Leones, Puerto Paraíso, Impala, Mr. Valle, Chumacera. So more of these positions on that north side need to be taken up, like La Cobreria, even water treatment potentially. Torremada, El Zahar. I see Nongshim Red Force. I always found this drop spot kind of odd when they were choosing them, but Nongshim Red Force has like ruins. They take ruins all the way on the northwest side, and they just play that out. It's so out of the way, but with this plane path, they get out super early, get this trash drop started almost immediately.
Sarah boats for them on this one. some other big plays that were coming out, you know, not realistically into the late game there in terms of placement, but for the raw elims and handling themselves under pressure, you got to give that shout out over to Enigma Galaxy. That was very nice to see, right? A lot of early carnage, uncomfortable situations with how they were fighting, but they looked good in the clutch, having to pull out points where they could. Ended that one with, what, 10 elims?
Yeah, it was 10 elims, 11 points total, because they got towards that top 8 side of things, which is, I think, genuinely a really, really good result for Enigma Galaxy. I think when you have those types of games, you've got to go for a massive salvage. Now, we start over on the northwest side of the map in terms of dropping those players off. We're moving hard down towards that southeast side. Got a lot of water involved. We've got the rocky outcrops, the mountainside down towards Paraíso on that western edge. So, should be a fun circle to play around with. We could end up back in Los Leones as we did earlier in the tournament. Always fun to have an urban finish. Gets very hectic. But yeah, I think if we look at the leaderboard right now, it's very comfortable on the staging, right? We drop off slowly. It's very much an even stairway to the top, where a 20-point game can be a big difference maker. For Enigma Galaxy, they get a 20-point match. Suddenly they're tied with Aurora, who have currently managed to settle themselves in first. The first team to break the 3-digit mark as well and hit the century here in the finals.
I do wonder if maybe teams will get a little bit more antsy, force some issues slightly earlier into this one. A couple of our big names already inside the zone there. 4-5's Aurora, Godlike, not too far away. S2G making their rotate down from truck stop. And then Tiamba, of course, towards the coastline. Keep that in the back of your mind, but focus on this as well. We've got some weapon skins, of course, for those of you at home that want to get your hands on some lovely bits of kit inside of the game. So make sure you're participating in that.
Absolutely. And we'll throw that up on screen shortly. You can take a look at it then. But for Aurora, there you go. As if on cue. Doc will just go down there. Knows he's nowhere near the rest of his team. Isn't going to bother them. So unfortunate there for Aurora to lose a player out almost immediately. Again, weird entry point for a lot of squads where they want to get in towards the circle as soon as possible. S2G giving themselves the best advantage early on as they fly down from the eastern side of the map. And swinging past Impala right now, might look for some of the high grounds that sit towards the southern portion of this one. Enigma Galaxy a slower start though, over towards El Pot, so they're going to hang out here for a little while longer. Ralph on screen with us at the moment, doing a good job IGLing, making some quick decisions here and there. I do genuinely think it helps having... I think as much as we've talked about Coops, I think we do need to shift the perspective a little bit to Lord. I think Lord has been such a consistent player on that team. We've given a lot of love to Coops so far, but I think Lord is able to excel because he has another strong fragger on the team. Now, I think Satan as well as Ralph are both very good players, but they're not your front line, right? And if Lord was always playing that front line, he was very good with it, he needed someone to play off the back of, and I think he works phenomenally well with Coops right now. So a big shout out to Lord this game. Hopefully they can continue that pressure. Milu back in, actually, for Tiamba. Looks to move up against Lost here, but will unfortunately go down. So Tiamba losing Milu right off the back there. Very sad stuff to see. I think Tiamba was not expecting this. S2G sort of making a Tiamba play versus them themselves.
Yeah, giving a taste of their own medicine there. That's unfortunate, the return of the king, but only for a few brief minutes on this one. We'll see if he comes back for another Miramar outing. Absolutely beasting in the event overall, but S2G stealing some of that energy and starting it out with a nice elim to send the rest of Tiamba scarpering, as they know they don't want to stick around and sacrifice anything more on this one. Three-man squad lives on to see if they can steal some points away on the long con.
For Tiamba, still 7 more matches to go, and like you said, they've been having a great run at the start of it. They had a lovely push in over towards the finals itself. They looked fantastic. Now sitting over towards the middle side of the tables, haven't really able to put up many points after that. but they still have a whole additional day, and that can change a lot of things. Remember, you just need to get past that smash ruling point system and then hit the chicken dinner. So they just need to get themselves in range. That's it. They've got one more game to do it. They've got this game here to try and get some consistent points on board. Like you say, the return of the king was very short here, but next game, potentially some royal decrees being thrown out here and there.
Yeah, take the opportunity to sharpen the steel once more, and then come back out swinging. Potentially, that's got to be the play for some of these teams as well, because you touched on the fact, obviously, you're trying to set that barrier, that scoreline to beat effectively going into tomorrow, stopping some of these top teams dead in their tracks, seeing if you could stop them from bloating it to a very large scoreline. It's a risk versus reward that you've got to weigh up in some of these situations for teams that are looking to still climb, but don't want it to be too tall of a task to reach it going into tomorrow. If you want to lap our top teams with that smash rule being in effect. OG on the move here, Ida just off in the distance.
Yeah, pretty big funnel, this portion map around La Bendita. Through some of the dead ground, sits around here as well, to the north side of Los Leones, staging upwards towards some of those buildings. Ulf's already met that quota right now. They're a little bit further towards the center of the map. Ulf looking for another good game. They were in second place for a little while, but then swiftly fell out of it, and Ulf's looking to get some more points on board. Again, for them, a good game would pretty much settle themselves up towards the top 3. They just don't really want to get trapped by that second place curse. You know, it's very much the Alpha 7 of old. Flash loses one on the knock and will be immediately flushed there by S Power. It's from Godlike on the south side. Vitality having a little bit of a look in towards S2G and Pod Paraíso, actually. They've got a 2-2 split going on, very dangerous.
Zypher up on the roof. Nade in his hand as he starts to make a move over the top side and see if he can get that one down on target. So 4 Fribes collapsing in early. Jiggle knocked. Sleepy arcing a nade back over as well. Going to cook that one. If they came running over now, could be very detrimental. They can tuck into the stairs as well. Get a safe recovery on the go here, so Jiggle can still be in play.
Ooh, Falak, though, putting on the pressure, and again, the flashbacks towards yesterday. 4th rise up against Aura. No Fear able to clutch it out towards the end. IQ, though, finds Sky, and No Fear is nowhere nearby. Starting to fly on in, but I think it might be too little too late here. T24 did hit the floor. For the rest of 4th rise, holding on fairly decently. A tanky, though, from the sidelines on OG. Literally, as soon as T24 got picked up, hit the deck straight again.
Floating around just on the periphery. The Vultures circling these two teams right now. Ooh, up close inside of the compound, though, it's Sleepy that looks to clothesline them in the close quarters combat. Few shots fired over. Good assist from No Fear with the SMG as Falak gets lit up. They go in from both sides. The stereo piece.
Nice.
It's a brilliant clear.
Oh, punishing 4 Fribes one by one.
You can't believe it. For 4th rise, it's almost a dreamlike experience versus Sleepy. Deja vu once again as No Fear drops to the plate, but OG, they come in to pick up the pieces. And that's 4th rise down. No Fear taking some shots once again, but Sleepy is out, and OG with a fantastic third party onto it. Oh dear me, for 4th rise, the horror experience continues.
Yeah, those weren't scare actors, Blank. Coming in with real weaponry on that one.
The worst event I'd ever paid for.
Yeah, you would not enjoy that.
Yeah.
OG certainly
That's a real chainsaw.
They had a great time, mate. Cut through them. It's like a bad magician. Slice you in half, but hey, you're not going back together. They steal those points, keep on dreaming through this one before Fribes and Aura out early on our opener of Miramar today.
checking with some other teams, though. Aurora, very, very slow to the circle itself. They're coming from that western side, past Chumacera. Likely will hit a traffic jam, though, with the boundaries in place. A lot of teams trying to sidle their way through the northwest edge of Los Leones down towards the southeast. But we are hitting those rocky outcrops where we slope down towards the eastern side, leaving Vitality and S2G on a little bit of an island of themselves. The next circle will determine whether its teams do need to cramp up towards. Oh, okay. S2G, fourth one on the cards, potentially. All right.
Hey, man. Goes over towards them, already set up down towards the coast there. A lot of water in play once again. These circles have been so spicy time and time again, forcing some quick thinking out of our squads.
For S2G, though, I mean, as an org, it would be an incredible achievement, right? To come off the back of winning one international previously in the past, and to rebuild and do it again, that is a great marker of success for S2G. So we'll just have to wait and see for the time being. For them, they're down towards that east side. Very limited information of what's happening over towards the west here, as it does slope upwards. You're not really seeing all of the information, all of the intricate details on that side, so they're going to play it safe for the time being. Tiamba did get a central position, though, but they are playing as three. Milu going down earlier on. Coops finds Schweppes, good shots. Does not miss those often.
Ooh, a couple claps back over. Off-angle peek there, getting a few on target. You can see it's a wide spread with the setup from Nigma Galaxy. This off-angle could be so dastardly. He's got his eyes on target. Mormon just trying to stay alive, digging his heels in towards the cliff face. Ralph looking to get those final confirmations off. Tony K low on health as well. Two smokes dropped. Tucking in while Schweppes is finally confirmed. That was the knock we saw from Coops earlier into this one. Joker does fight back. They know about the angle from Ralph, but you are so pinned in, so many positions to be aware of, and they can take shots from all sides.
This is the only problem with sometimes Ralph's flex outs, is that he really does just bait his teammates sometimes. It has worked out quite a bit today, but this is the problem that arises. Lord does go down for it. I think in the straight fight, they might have done a lot better there having nades, because Ralph's also got all the nades. He's got 5. Like, those would have been lovely. He placed over towards this side, up against the players. Hoops sends one in. It's a good amount of damage. Knocks one over towards Turney K. Luckily, Mormon was able to dash down the hillside, avoid a lot of that shrapnel. Still took a hell of a beating.
Going on for a little while here as well, and starting to drain some of the more offensive utility that's being thrown out. Obviously, they're tucked in just on the rock face here with the map geometry, making it uncomfortable to fight with bullets. They have to nade onto it. I think that was the last nade for Coops, now thrown in. Satan is somewhat closing the gap, but he's being peppered back as well, and they now know.
Bro, Ralph, just come over. It's 2 players. Let's hit the 3v2 and just win this fight.
Oh, it's going on for so long. Finally, at least one more confirmation as we will see Turney K buckle. How on earth, though, if they'd just been given this free fight with no assist? Mate, this could end terribly for both squads at this rate.
I mean, Joker's still off in the distance there as well, and Ralph finally gets in the car. This has been a strange one. It's been a very strange one, and it almost feels like very reminiscent of Nigma Galaxy of old. A little bit too comfortable with these odd splits here and there, and Ralph goes down.
After that explosive opener, you thought they had him banged to rights, but E-Arena, one by one, have punished back against Nigma Galaxy, and with that last nade from Mormon hitting Coops, they thought it was all over. Well, it is now.
For E-Arena, they are very glad to have this guy on side. He is more than a man, he is more man. Here in play, still kicking strong there at the top of the leaderboards, 98 points, but you'd hope lesson learned there for Nigma Galaxy.
You can't afford to be doing that. Not worked out for him whatsoever, mate. Too indecisive.
Yeah,
split.
I mean, look, Satani's frustrated, and so he should be in that situation. What a... I don't even know what to say.
And for E-Arena, I mean, counting their blessings, they get away with that as a duo. 4 elims picked up, putting them on 98 points total right now, still alive in the game. If they can coast this one out long term, maybe there's still more to be said for them on a bit of a big score on this one. But they've made out with a brilliant heist. Got in there, made out like bandits.
The Watcher. Ralph.
Observing. Noticing.
I've noticed you in a 2v2 with my team.
Yeah, brutal way to go. Hey-ho, is what it is. OG back on a move onto bigger and brighter things. Let's see what they can do. ACOP, quick shots. That's Chief getting spearheaded straight through, and the vehicle going to confirm him. Silence up close with a nade in his hands. Pin pulled, sweaty palms. Can he blow them away? Silence does get one off. Back onto ACOP, leaving them in a effective 3v3. Zone going to be crunching back in onto Silence as well, and he's low on HP right now. Nate's thrown all over the shop.
He's worried. So he should be. Might just get the first aid kit off here. Pulls it off in time. A tanky, though, going low, gets the heal. Silence is down and out. We got Night Cam on board. Watching on as his team struggles up against the forces of OG. Either now looking down towards them, punishing. Only Ayala left for the squad to move forward. Vitality found themselves a decent position, and somehow Nongshim Red Force have been able to swing down towards the southern side of the map. But again, I feel where Tiamba's playing, completely workable from this spot. But you'd hope for Ulf this is a good game. And I think this is where they need a good game to stay in contention for the top side.
Yeah, if they want to be in that conversation, you've got to get the boots moving. As we gave you this establisher here of the map crunching in, we did see Ayala, I believe, there on Furia falling. So Furia do go out with the on-watching from the coach, main man Knight. So OG get away with one player still in the contest here. See, Widgock's going to have to play a very, very slow game from this point as just a solo. Does cut away some of that effective close line early setup we saw from S2G. They're going to have to move over. This is why you were highlighting Ulf there. Very central. Diamba, similar sort of story. And Aurora with just the duo.
Yeah.
That could try and get involved in the conversation as well.
And if we look over towards Ulf as well, when we pan past them, they're on some really nice high ground. Looking down on a lot of these teams, like it's a very, very good spot, not only to gather information from, but to springboard the rest of your game. It could be front a curveball and get a hard shift over towards the northwest side or down towards the southeast, in which case you need to push down there. But yeah, I think for Ulf, they should have a good lay of the land going forward. Flash still as a 4-man though, over towards that northern edge. E-Arena off towards that eastern side, living actually, despite everything. They were stuck in the blue for quite a while.
You know what, man? Maybe there's a chance as well. We start to get some big booms coming out of the squad like Godlike. Man like S-Power, supply crate come down near them. He's a bit of a cheeky chappy. He's got that good energy about him. If they can get armed,
he does, yeah.
Potentially get a good bit of a shift on this one as well that favors them positionally. I think they'd be a team to show back up. This is the kind of environment they can certainly deal some damage.
Right, you don't have to shame them.
Does he make it this time?
No, it's just a shame, Cam. Okay,
all right,
cool.
Fair enough. God, you've been done.
Not a single thing gets past our observers.
No, all the shots on that one.
They notice.
Look, that's the thing about ladders. They can be a bit hard to climb.
They can be. They can be. Especially when they're off the ground level. But a good attempt. See if Flash makes it later on. We'll have a little peek back in there. Probably not now though. They've been embarrassed on the big screen. Nongshim Red Force looking over towards S2G. Important fight here for the eastern side. Trying to play off that edge. Kamikaze looks over the top immediately, pulls off from that angle, gives them space on this one. Lost on a real long back angle there. I do like where Lost is playing. He's done this a few times before where he's this really cheeky position. Luckily, Tizzy immediately notices him.
Thing is, this being a bit more of a downhill battle as well, STG just casting the nades towards them. It does give them a little bit more oomph on those bad boys, try to get them on target. At some point, both of them have got to move as well now, with the zone shifting over, and Hyunbin's gone for the more aggressive approach, zipping up towards the ridge line. He's got some cover to play off with this as well.
The crowbar.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Looking to get dug in over towards S2G. Prime apart. Ulf, Aaron actually finding shot over towards Darkin. That is a mega shot, by the way. Oh my goodness me, how far is that? Almost 400 meters on that bad boy. That's Aaron for you. MTG still wandering around. Only one nade there from So Easy. Tries to get a bit of damage done. Lost still in the back lines, but he's been effectively harassed. Vitality yet to move, and Nongshim Red Force just trying to dominate the high ground off the back of this. I think with Hyunbin's original push out, that swing was very good, gave them a huge amount of advantage playing forward, but we are just playing in tandem at the moment, slowly stepping up this hillside.
Yeah, climbing up bit by bit. For the Mafia, it looks like there's a little bit of posturing from Godlike back down towards this fight that's occurring in the Elim feed with Alula taking on Ida. So Godlike might try and siphon some points out from that one, whilst you do still have this elongated uphill battle between Nonshin and S2G. Ooh, the duo of Aurora as well, even getting a good distant connection off onto Godlike to at least knock one of the players. Alpha pushing a bit further down as well. They were debating going for it. Oh, but that's actually Top getting the knock onto Soulless.
That's awkward there. Kamikaze though, E-Arena. It's Mormon once again at distance. M4 taking the shots in. Kamikaze immediately has to rebuff that position. Nongshim Red Force takes advantage of it. So Easy peeking. Good shots from Joker. Goodness me. Lucky to still have his hat on. Aaron knocks over towards Razak. Aaron has been hitting some nasty shots, by the way.
Yeah, he's been super slick with it. Great gun skill on display. From range as well, gets a little bit more awkward from some of these long-range fights, but doesn't bother him. He's been consistent.
Very important that he gets that knock as well versus Vitality. Massively slows them down because Ulf had 2 players down, knocked. Now they do... I think they just lost 1 entirely. Yeah, they did. So they're down to 3 now. That's Soulless. No longer in with us. It's all from a really, really good position. I don't really know how they lost a player there. And it's hard to deny those sight lines in this area of the map. There's a lot of little defilades, random bits of environmental objects that are going to keep you alive. Skinny trees. Aurora's living it large. Honestly, has 2 players. I think that's what I'm most surprised by, but Top has been having a really, really good day today. I think he's currently topping the damage meters, well, hey, with Reefus playing alongside him up there.
Ooh, well, Zone moves in, still has actually a bit of favor towards Aurora with the position they were set up in, but this battle between Ulf and Vitality has been going on. Meanwhile, amongst it, S2G start to crash onto Tianba. The drum starting to beat. Just outside the doorway, shots into the back line. Heels being pulled out as QZZ tops himself back up. Hamzik's so low as well, you're going to be caught on a wrap. Wow, somehow gets past the door. Oh, mate. Bullets bouncing by him, giving him a short back and side with a haircut, but he's still alive. Nades into the long building.
QZZ lucky there. Almost went upstairs as the nade came through. Joker will finally go down. I mean, E-Arena was certainly making some enemies, stinging away at some of the players around the map there, but for Tianba, they've got to love this longhouse, and holding on to it is the name of the game. Sadly, no Milo here to make those 1v4s happen. Only 2 players from S2G, so not looking like another chicken dinner going forward. Desperate to take this longhouse off of them, though, and hold out all the teams coming in from the northeast. Molly goes down, forces Hamzy G into the homestead.
Yeah, they got the read there, they know the info. Heard the thunderfooting of the footsteps as he plays close on the stairs. Meanwhile, Vitality continuing to put pressure onto Godlike, holding the back line. Ulf stealing away some of the points as well, as Razy will get hit heavy. Razak down as well, calling for backup from Axel, that's got about 1 point of health left. And that's Nonshin Red Force that are lighting him up with So Easy coming in. Only Vexy left then. Scary scenes for Vitality. Nades being cooked out from Scarface and dash back down onto Nonshin Red Force. Still waiting, lying, prepared to strike for the S2G side, close towards Tiamba's compound. 4 different fights occurring here.
Yeah, this is pretty madness. Over on this side of the map, Nongshim Red Force looks to finish off the final player there from Vitality as they swing down. Leaves So Easy on Overwatch towards Ulf. Flash stepping up to the plate. Unbeknownst to them, this is a 5-man team inside the building. We're lost. Hamzy G and Tiamba underneath. Smoke start to bloom. Nongshim takes quite a lot of damage though, as Godlike starts to push on through whilst Ulf maintains a little bit of help.
Flash just sprinting in, clear towards the top side of their area of the building. Meanwhile, A-King starts to respond back in kind onto S2G. QZZ with a smooth move and giving them the Texas 2-step and dancing past the bullets. That's how S2G go down. More pressure could potentially be coming their way, though.
Has to play the outside now. Love that from A-King, though. Just decided to push up, sadly. Wynn's already on the rooftop. Gets the good shots in. Will flush out the player. QZZ gets in the building with the S12K underneath. There's Eagle lurking as per usual. Gets the first aid kit off. Greeds for it. Zeus low. Bozie's down, and Tiamba is making the hold here. 1 player left remaining. He moves out. It is just Eagle, I believe, left here for the team.
Oh, he tried to bait him back on the double step into the building. Thankfully for Flash, Wynn finds that one on the reply. He can't pull a fast one on him, but that's a quick way to go down for the last member of Aurora. They fall as well, and the numbers get fewer and fewer as we go down to our last 4 squads. Flash, Godlike, Ida, and Ulf remain. Ulf have been battling Godlike after Vitality were removed. This was the next squad they had to keep the intense action going with, and they've not had a moment of respite in a few minutes.
I mean, Godlike's playing a split right now. They've got Salme over on the western side, keeping tabs over towards Ida, trying not let them push, whilst Admino and S-Power essentially bully Ulf. Ketch is going to try and crawl over towards them as Wynn makes this swing. What's over the moment, S-Power and Admino just not giving up though. They're going to send in good shots from Aaron, tries to take down Wynn quickly, but Godlike's in through the back lines. 1 player left alive here. Scarface tries to hold it down, but cannot keep the hope alive here for Ulf as S-Power takes advantage of the momentary distraction. And that's just with 2 players here. Now they look to take it to task versus Ida. It is Godlike, Ida. A 3 versus 3. Nades forward, it's good. Straight to the vehicle. Opens up the boot, looks for more.
They thought they found the weakness. The isolated off-angle play from Salme. They run him down with the vehicles, but he blows away the first line of defense with a nade and leaves them in dire straits now. 2v3, trying to pull back while still fighting. Last bit of offensive utility thrown out by Salme. He's got to get his head down. Off-angle split between the 2 Ida players. S-Power from range, putting shots on target. Darkin waiting for the peak. Throws the nade over. Could be good to at least force S-Power back out into the open.
Good damage over towards S-Power there, like you say. Doesn't force him out, though. He just holds his ground. Nade bounces off the rooftop, but Salme's not bothered. Darkin now swinging side to side, just about gets to cover, but not before S-Power hits the shot. Now just Rita all alone. The rest of Godlike pushing down into him.
The terrifying trio of Godlike being fired up. The ferocious crowd here in France giving them their energy. Chant after chant, screaming the name Godlike, but can they do the arena proud as Rita makes a move? Bullets on target, gotta hit the deck. He's low, he's trapped, and Godlike know that they are inches away from grabbing the chicken dinner. Salme with the elevated peak, they're looking for the shots. Rita Gotta make the move. Peeks back up, fires, the warning's over. That's one knocked as Rita looks to hold on. Can he somehow clutch this?
Ooh.
No! Cut short in the final moment as Godlike find it.
There's power right at the end. Looked dire, looked bad, but he brought it back into full, clear picture. Godlike grabbed themselves a chicken here. They've been getting closer and closer to that meal, and it's here right at the end of the day.
And if you're fortunate enough to be here at EWC 26 for PMWC, you'll hear that organization's name echoing through the hall as the fans cheer on their squad. That chicken dinner locked in. A clutch play at the end denied, and Godlike securing the dinner to give themselves a fighting chance, setting their sights at climbing up the rankings.
Again, for them, I think today and yesterday, it's just been a case of slowly but surely understanding every different scenario, how they want to play it out. But they have, like I said, just inched ever closer towards that victory. It's a nice set of adaptations coming through from this team. It was clear at the start they had a little bit of a slow burn to them, but the fire is definitely starting to roar a little bit now here for Godlike, and a good ending over on Miramar. What was quite a difficult circle to play.
Yeah, played it to the best of their ability as well, right? So many back-to-back fights where they were just thrown into the blender. Yeah. And no one got any time.
They just crept out every time.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Is like so many of those teams could have been in a position to keep this one going, but you just never had any respite. They were running low on ammo, using up all their meds. You barely scrape through one fight. Next team's right in behind you. Intense, like, you know, 5 to 7 minutes there of action.
This S Power guy, though.
Oh, he's giving it. He's bossing it.
He is giving it.
And they love him.
He is giving it. I mean, to be honest with you, I think I was more... As much as X Power is kind of ruling the lobby at the moment, it was cool to see Salme play that out. I think Salme has some really good off angles for the team, and he's a reliable player. It's quite rare to find that in a team where you can just rely on that one guy to do his job, picture perfect, and not go down in the meantime, because they were fighting 2 different fights at the same time.
Mate,
yeah, well done.
That's the difference of it as well, right? That off-angle setup, when they crunched in with the vehicles, they've seen that as like, oh, this is a weaker knee. If we get that one pick here, we can actually try and steamroll and play off the back of this. The fact that he didn't panic, didn't overstep, cooks the nade, gets it off, and buys the team time to win that one. Incredible play from Salme. Big chicken dinner, but so much more to come. We'll see you in a sec.
Welcome back to PMWC at EWC 26. My name is the 7WG. I'm joined by Maxman and also Snoix, a professional player for PUBG Mobile Esports. Snoix, what are you doing here?
You know, I'm chilling around. I'm sitting at the booth of PUBG Mobile for the collaboration of Spider-Man and Naruto, and I'm enjoying the time with fun and watching the match.
Oh, he's going to play some Brainrot Royale as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a very fun booth, but I want to ask you, you're watching the game, Snoix. Who is your team that you're predicting to be the champions here at this event?
At the start, I predicted E-Arena and Nigma, but the way Nigma and S2G playing right now are really amazing, and I guess it's going to be between one of these two.
If you had to pick one, I'm being complicated, sorry.
Come on now.
Nigma, because they're my ex-teammates.
Yeah, that's fair. You know what? Nigma Galaxy looking kind of good.
They are looking kind of good, especially with the numbers that they've been able to put up. What team has surprised you here in day 2?
S2G, definitely.
Those back-to-backs?
Yeah, 3 chicken today, no? 2? Yeah, they play very well.
Yeah, very impressive. I do have a question for you, though, of course. Position here in this tournament, Hustler Crew, took it away from you. I want to know, can you make us any promises as to what you might deliver in the full season of this year?
We're going to give our best, and the goal is going to be to reach all global final.
Hell yeah, I love to see it. Let's go.
Okay, we'll be waiting for you at PMGO Season 2 in Pakistan and also PMGC in Turkey. Thank you so much for joining us. Snoix, Maxman, 7WG. Back to PMWC at EWC 26.
We were there for every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind, And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. Making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
Out of all the questions we have had from Godlike, we finally got the answer. I'm sorry. That was, yo, props for running. You know, props for running.
But for the rotation of many teams in this tournament, actually. That was quite good.
Just reenacting what happened in the game.
It was really scary late. Towards the end there, super scary from Godlike. I thought that we were about to choke.
Sorry.
It was scary.
Thought you meant scary from Neptura in that rotation. But look, absolutely impeccable. It was a little bit scary, but of course we believe in the clutch ability from his power and the way that they were able to fully swing on Nongshim, right? And then you think, oh, okay, Ulf might come and contend that. No, they're going to absolutely obliterate them too, putting themselves in that nice position. Obviously, they had such great support as well, but to have that front line and to be able to come from that rotation that they did and to calculate, I mean, it is tough because you don't know what other teams are going to be doing, but to calculate that sort of swing on the southern side, heck yeah.
Heck yeah, indeed. And for Godlike, a team that definitely needs the points, this puts them in contention, Max. If they get another win or if they have a strong finish here, they could end up challenging for that top 5.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility right now. But I love in particular this game when you're looking at Godlike, they just put down the hammer and said, this is our position on the western side, forcing teams not ready to crash onto them, but forcing teams to avoid the fight, right? Especially in Ida, forcing them to go for a wider northern rotation. Al-Ula eventually just crashing and completely failing in their attempt to actually get control of that western side. This is a very oppressive Godlike we saw this game.
Yes.
We don't see it very often, but this is, in terms of oppression in tournament, this is one of their best games so far.
It is. And the thing, Natura, is that this team, just to remind everybody, it is their first international event, first international finals for all these players. And they're being able to put up the numbers. Hey! And boy, that makes me happy seeing S-Power. Not only the great hair, the great gameplay from him, but you could kind of see the inexperience there towards the end of the match. And that's one thing that I'm kind of happy they're going through this and they're gaining this experience, because next time they're going to be ready, they're going to be more prepared, and they will be able to just finish off that match a lot easier.
No, absolutely. They will be able to finish the next win they get, because I doubt this is their last. They will be able to finish it off much better, just with a bigger bang. I totally agree. I think overall they did play that final fight very, very well. They held off when they needed to. They were aggressive when they needed to. They didn't go full aggro without enough information onto Ida because they didn't know where they were. Very, very well played. That's a mature style of gameplay, but they just did take it a little too far in those final moments. They almost got 1v3'd there because they didn't wait. They didn't push when they should have.
I mean, this third party, by the way, over to the eastern side, what a great push-up. The timing of Godlike was literally on point. There's no way Ulf can even fight back. They're just cornered. They were getting rid of one player of Flash just to make sure they get the extra elimination and placement point. And then Some hits that. Of course, it was not like a top speed vehicle coming in his way, but still Some, his utility is some of the best I've seen from this team so far. Of course, Rita, I was believing this might be the Ida win, but S-Power put down the hammer and make sure they got that chicken dinner.
Never doubting S-Power, especially with the way that he has been able to put up numbers. We're looking at the top damage dealer so far. Godlike up there, obviously, with that performance that they have. But we got to talk about some of the other players, because Ida has continued on a strong performance here, bouncing back from those hot drops yesterday. And it's not just those hot drops that they stopped doing. They actually been fragging out. They've been moving up that leaderboard. Another team that has been able to put up good points, especially in this last match, has been Ulf Esports.
Yeah, Ulf actually, really good fight they had on the side of Tiamba. At one point, they were getting a little bit involved on a third-party distance, a bit of a distance away, and then getting rid of Flash. Good stuff overall from Ulf. I feel like they're still not on the level I would be expecting from them, right? Because Ulf is a team that I know has the potential to be a global champion, right? We've seen it back, PMGC second place, PMJ Season 1 second place. They have that potential. They're not delivering on that initial promise, but Ulf is a team that I know they're going to be willing to iterate and make changes if needed. But yeah, right now, a bit shaky.
Bit shaky. Another team that has been shaky and has been very, very shaky is Furia, because Furia LA's, they started off strong, but if we look at Furia's past 4 performances, it has been 0 eliminations, 0 eliminations, 0 eliminations, and 2 eliminations. Not what we were expecting here out of Furia.
What was that? Sorry, again, 7?
0 eliminations, 0 eliminations, 0 eliminations and 2 eliminations.
Oh, they got back in the car, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's your fault. You gave them the license.
Yeah, I gave the license, but I'm
SMH
revoking it
place.
for the second time. No, look, it just becomes this sort of point. Like, they are a team that, yes, capitalize on eliminations, but it does get to them on these longer stages, on these longer types of tournaments, because their play style is just getting completely shut down now that everyone is forcing and playing those placement points. So they do need to sort of adapt and move back into what I want to say yesterday, they were doing yesterday, where they were actually prioritizing placement. What I did like from them on this map particularly, they did get into that place, rotation a lot earlier than they traditionally do, but it fell incredibly short because they are tunnel visioning on trying to get those eliminations. So it's like it's a hit and miss for Furia, but like once they get that ball rolling with the elims, they're making the plays.
Yeah,
they want those positions, but if they're standing still, getting caught out, they just pull their pants down.
Well, if they want to be challenging for that first place, you don't want to be caught with your pants down. You don't want to be caught doing those drive-bys that you've been doing, Furia. You want to see what you were able to do earlier in the day as well, which was getting those chicken dinners. But I want to take a look at the overall, because right now I want to see what the standings are going to be looking like. As we head into the final game, after this game, we will set the threshold for that smash roll. Right now, Aurora Gaming with 104 points, E-Arena 98, S2G with those 95.
If we bring in the smash rule into it and we look at previous times, this is so doable for a lot of teams. Usually we see such a tremendous gap, and then it's going to be tomorrow, every team just trying to catch up. The top team, I just got to get 10 points and win this thing. But this is actually incredibly close when we bring into that format and that rule that it still can be doable all the way down to 8th.
Ooh, all the way down to 8th. Okay,
Yeah.
You're a believer. I like the belief that you're currently showing, because for 4Thrives esports fans, they're looking to see some kind of bounce back here. Yes, we have seen flashes of greatness, but right now, in the position that there are, 30 points away, not what this team wants to be, considering that they are the reigning champions of PMGO Season 1.
I mean, I believe in them enough to think that if they have a good game in this final match of today, they still have a shot tomorrow. But it's looking worse and worse for them.
Yeah.
So it is, I think it really does come down to this final match. If they can get a 15-20 point game out of this last Miramar, then they should be okay.
I'm going to have to say for 4Thrives, they're looking like day 2 of finals of PMGO Season 1.
No!
They're looking very... I'm not even... They're consistently not getting points, if I had to be brutally honest. So, not loving what's happening. Very indecisive, which is the biggest issue of 4Thrives is themselves, right? Their mindset, hesitant, not trusting themselves. Though, second page, one team I want to highlight that we barely talked about throughout the entirety of these finals, guys. Horror Esports, really not being brought up in the conversation very often. And I know we have a lot of horror fans right behind us right now, supporting them, but really there's no reason to cheer for them because they've been pretty much non-existent these finals.
I don't know what to say, because we saw them have some pretty good runs yesterday. Started today, they were also looking fairly strong. They had a couple of top 5 finishes, if I'm not mistaken. But now we're starting to see this team do not a whole lot of anything. And I don't know if that's because the teams around them are starting to really pick apart some of these slower paced teams. I really do believe that the teams at the top of the leaderboard are much faster, much snappier. I use that word a lot, but it's the correct word. It's really descriptive for what we're seeing here is these teams are always on the mark, always going forward, always making a move at the right time. And the teams on the second half of the leaderboard, Horror included, I just think they're acting a little bit slow. They're making those decisions a little further behind than all the rest of them, and they're getting left behind in the zone.
At the beginning of the day, though, we saw Horror being aggressive. We saw them just going for those fights too. But right now, that might be what's hurting them.
I mean, actually, yeah, Horror had one good game earlier today, right? It was a podium. But the reason why I'm not super impressed, right, is that was literally right next to where they usually dropped. They didn't drop there that game on La Cobreria. But it is, I call it Horror Mountain. And they didn't do anything off the back of that, Lace. So I'm really hoping we see something on a circle that they're not used to playing, because right now it's been a nothing tournament for them.
I even backed that up and I was like, oh, they've got that placement, they've got this mountain, it's easy win. Obviously, Zero took that win in that moment. But look, yeah, it's strange and I guess confusing because they're not doing anything remotely terrible in these final matches that should be putting them here. It's more or less like you're saying that for all these other teams are just, we're calculating that. We're going to do a little bit better. So it's like they could have one game to pick this up, though. I do believe, obviously, it's their last game today, guys. I keep thinking in the future, though, I'm like, yeah, games tomorrow, but there is still that opportunity. Like I'm saying, this leaderboard is so close that these major games can turn it around. We've seen it Aurora did it. Now they're on top. You know, it's truly possible.
If there was any other team right now in first place, I'd be like, yeah, there's a high chance that we'll play those 6 matches. But right now, with Aurora being in first place, we know what they've been capable of. They've been looking great, honestly. It's a team that's been looking really good, really consistent here in this PMWC at EWC 26, and they're looking to take that trophy home because that's what Top's missing. That's what Doc's missing. Sheol already has won global championship, and Refits, he wants to win that MVP and also get that trophy home. But let's send it over to Barney, which I don't even know where he's at. Where is that? Barney over there?
That is Barney over there. Ladies and gentlemen, talk to me. Okay, listen up. So now, today has been a true test of focus and endurance for all of our players. They've left it all on the Gadir City grid, but we want more. We're 7 maps deep right now in day 2, and we've got 1 more map to go. And so, earlier on today, we checked in with the fans to see how everyone was feeling, but we want to do that one more time to get everyone energized on the Gadir City grid before our final map of day 2. And so, I'm going to send it over to Luti. Who you got over there, buddy?
Oh yeah, Bonnie, I am here with my vitality suits because we are French and we never surrender. We are believers. So ready, guys? Make some noise! Let's see how it's going. Hojux, up to you.
I know who's hype after that one, baby! Godlike with the 20 points! The domination starts now! So let's make some noise! Let's go! Yeah!
You can see the excitement from all the fans. Different nations, different representations of our organizations that are bringing the heat here in Paris. But you know what, France? Together, I'm sure we can blow the roof off this building. Let's hear it one last time. Let's absolutely go ballistic!
Last game of the day. Let's get into it. Miramar on the cards. We're going to set our smash ruling going forward right now. Teams looking very, very good. Ida getting deeper and deeper into these matches. They're looking energized and good to go. Godlike also with a 20 points out last game. I think that's just the beginning of something great to come here on Miramar. Smash ruling will be in effect from tomorrow, but this is where we lay down that line in the sand, the literal sand here on Miramar. Teams looking very contemplative where they want to hit up, where they want to go next. Milu back in the game for his last ride here on Miramar before we get into tomorrow. Good to see him back again, though. Hopefully we're having a little bit longer in this game, Jackie.
Hey, you'd hope so, man. It's good to have him back. Incredible talent, unbelievable mechanics. And this could be the reset, right? Little bit more time, he's back in. He's got his fingers on the sticks once more. You deploy him into the lobby once again. And if there was a chance for Tiamba to start to assert some of that dominance that we know they're very capable of, hey man, go big, last game. Bring it on home, start to rise up the rankings a little bit, being a nice position to try and leapfrog tomorrow. It could still very much happen.
Southern side playing path, a little bit difficult to deal with. Some of these teams getting up towards that northern edge, at least on that eastern side, but Podpariso, Impala very much in play there. Good to go. Chimacera open for the teams to move down towards Aurora, getting out nice and early around that position. Top with the 4,970 damage, but Aaron and Scarface still doing an incredible amount of work here, despite where right now Ulf is on the rankings. That last match just generally wasn't that bad either. I mean, 81 points now. They're getting closer and closer to the top of the tables. Aurora wants to pull out something very, very special on this match, though. Remember, we want to set that line higher than anyone else by a fair margin to make tomorrow's Rondo a little bit more sweaty, right? Because I think Rondo, you can earn a lot of points on that map. You can earn a lot of points on that map, and it can get you far towards that smash ruling or even beyond it.
Yeah. No, it's true, bro. Like, we've had some incredible games of Rondo here at PMWC as well, at EWC 26. So, if it's anything like the beginnings we had, namely, it's fitting we get E-Arena on screen, right? Record-breaking game, some big moves. The stadium finish.
see that?
Oh, no, bro. They're styling already.
They jumped off the top of the building strand to the back of the bank. Okay, love to see it.
You do. But yeah, you're right. I think we'd love to see some of that level of, you know, sheer world-class gameplay, sort of championship mentality happening right then as we get into tomorrow for that first game to give you that leapfrog, that setup. But we'll find out how it goes. For those of you at home as well, don't forget to participate in the event yourself with the lucky spin and draw to get some of those beautiful skins to commemorate what has been a very wonderful year here at PMWC. It feels like a rising tide has brought all ships up, Blank. The skill level, some of the plays we've seen, the 1v4s that it feels like this year we've had drastically many compared to what we'd had in prior years. It's been a lot of showmanship, a lot of excitement, and Paris has been killing it as well. So it's been super exciting. But hey, we'll dial in. We'll stick with the program for now, see what we get, if this will be a present of a final game between these sides and who's going to benefit most.
We have had a lot of rising stars as well. I mean, it's quite cool to see, because I mean, you mentioned the 1v4s. It's been a while since we've really had that presence from singular players in a big way, because we moved further over towards being like, the 4-man teams have to all be consistently good together. We need 4 players that can play together very, very cohesively, but also have that star power in them. Now we're going further beyond than that, right? We're going towards galactic level gamers, likes of Milu, Kamikaze. It's awesome to see. It really, really is.
Feels like we're getting some of those superstar players where, like you say, man,
superstars.
It can make the difference, right?
Bigger than just the normal stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Larger in stature or potentially gravitational pull. Yeah. I suppose that's true in Milu's case, right? He does just seem to absorb everyone in the lobby. They come near him.
Yep.
You're gone.
He's a beast. We did move over towards that western side on the circle, though, so that opens up a decent start here from Aurora, moving in from Chumacera early on. Got Picardo, positions around there, some of the trash drops, some of those compounds in play. Like, this is a very compound-heavy area of the map to start things off, like individual areas, not POIs. That does always make for a fun endgame. Oren via the Ma, you got Nongshim off the back of that southern plane path, dropping down towards Partona. Tizzy's already moved across, though, giving an anchor point for the rest of the team to move in towards. Still far down towards the south of the map, but at least gathering some information early whilst he loots up the couple of buildings. They used to be very much like RRQ stomping grounds back in the day. Way back in the day. 2021, 2022. We're going back there.
Kicking it old school. We're rolling back the years with some of the plays we've seen. In some ways, it's felt like that has been the case, right? Kind of a weird dynamic of the old and the new coming together to make something very tasty with the maneuvers we've seen. Hey, bike rotate. Shout out. Man's getting his exercise in. His legs will be aching. The one neuron for both of us engaged at the same time. That's unreal.
Oh, dear me. Well, okay, he's going to move on. Over towards Milu by the gas station. Does have a vehicle. Don't abandon him. Come on. You make him go further. It's so rude.
His fires are going to be burning.
No, Milu's got bigger and better things to be moving on to right now. Can't be dealing with you on your bike. Heads over towards Eagle. This is over towards east side of Impala right now. We do have OG actually rotating very closely at the moment. I think that's just a couple of players there, though. It's Aru. See a tanky over towards Graveyard right now. So quite a wide split as Godlike just slices down the center of them through La Bandita. So they are cut off from one another for quite a little while here. It'll be quite a slow start because, again, this is always funny. I mean, for an end of game circle, end of day circle, this is really, really cash. Right? This is super casual. Nothing super scary to worry about with. We're not down towards that southeast side where we're playing uphill the entire time, up towards the plateau by the hay bales. It's just back to normality, which I bet a lot of players are quite fond of. It's going to make a lot of the early game a little bit more slow, a little bit more simple in your rotates. A lot of your daisy chains are going to be easy too.
very cash money for these teams indeed right now.
Casual, not cash.
Could be both, mate. Casual cash money.
Yeah, casual cash money. At the end of the day, you know, you get yourself up towards that top side, potentially secure yourself.
Yeah,
huge
competitive
point
cash
leads.
money.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, lion's share of $3 million here on the line it is insane. I mean, it's life-changing money.
Oh yeah. You got the bread with the cheddar in the middle, called out a money sandwich. That's what they're all fighting over. Because it is ridiculous, man. You'd be doing wonders for your fans, for your organization.
Even just your family, really. It's an incredible thing to win. I mean, Yangon Galacticos, super cool following their journey. Since their win last year, I mean, they've been very much celebrated. You love to see it. And all the guys just seem so happy coming into this. And lovely to see them repping the Ancient Charm set as well. They've got their own skin in game. Wonderful experience here over at PMWC every single time, year to year. Fourth try is very central on this one, though. Just with the western side of Picardo, moved out there nice and early, but we are hitting our next circle shift, the largest one here of Miramar into zone 2. It's going to be Ladriero, though. I kind of already know it. It's not. Okay, good. I'm glad. I don't want to go there. I always find those circles really uncomfortable. Instead, we're heading over towards Power Grid. Enigma Galaxy kind of engrossed right now with Alula. Yasser, as well as Quick, a little bit slower to the plate right now as R3B and Claws get very much in the mix with them. Chasing him down. Give me another sideline, please.
They're begging for an angle. Hey, Lord, though, up to his old tricks. Loves the risky peaks from all the way at the top side there. Pretty effective from that position. We'll see if he gets any chances to shine. S2G and E-Arena near each other as well on the drive up. Oh, hello, Darkin with a Mini 14. That's a connection over onto Falak.
Yeah, Falak going down there. Bad news there for Fourth Rise. He's really the front man of the team. Brings a lot of confidence to the rest of the squad when he's still in play. Should be able to get the res on this one. That it was from Eder, I believe, and they are in front of them. So this is more a case of a step back type of deal rather than the full-on commit. But both Turkish teams, you got S2G and Ulf making a pretty big send here. I think Ulf understands that they want to go a little bit further in this match. As before, 81 points, but they are taking big tags right now. Going very low. Just about stay alive in this one. I wonder if that was from S2G. There's some serious rivalry between those two teams as well. I love it. I do love it.
Feels like even over the course of this one event, we've had so many narratives of like little rivalries that have been popping up. And it's given us a lot of excitement. It's made some of the fights pretty intense, not only in the actual battleground, but for the reverberations it has between the two orgs that are going head to head. Left a lot of room for some cool stories to appear. Aurora on the move here, bumping around, doing the suspension in, but they won't care.
Always switch vehicles if you need to. I thought it was quite interesting for Aurora because starting Chumacera, I think it's quite a straight shot up towards that north side, but they were a little bit slower to the circle, so maybe playing a little bit more comfortable on the edge here, or they just wanted to get as looted as possible, understanding that there is quite a lot of dead space in this zone. And they wanted to know that when it comes down to it, they have the utility, they've got the resources and supplies to make it through to the end, and they weren't going to be mega late by any means because they were starting in Chumacera. Enigma Galaxy do finally find that angle. Saw them earlier all lining up to take those shots. Zalula will get one dropped. No flush just yet, though. Whew. Yeah, this is a difficult one. We do move over towards that northwest side. We've got the field in play. We've got the almost Death Valley that sits between Monte Nuevo moving up. Furia actually has a good spot here. I think Ayala already picked up a nice compound, and likely the rest of the team will be flitting back over towards him. Oh no, they're greeting it. They're going doubles. I don't know how I feel about that.
trying to make a quick getaway, with Lord taking a couple shots towards the back of the vehicle there. Few stray bullets to connect, but he's still on the move, so won't be dropped out with the car by Hora. And they're just going to keep forging a path forwards. Amidst all this, you also have OG. That's Orangutan getting lit up with the crosshairs of Ida being able to spot them out and somewhat punish them, keeping them outside of the zone on their rotation up and over, with Ulf close by as well.
Furia right now, they're playing a 2-2 split. Yeah, I mean, they've got compound that sits over towards the western side and then one that sits a little bit further east. They do have a lot of confirmation. I wonder if they're doing this just because they knew the playing path went from west to east, so a lot of players dropped out on that eastern side because there's more playable space over there in the first place. So they're assuming that there is going to be a big traffic jam on that eastern side, so they can afford to go for a 2-2 split right now. I would expect them to regroup on the next one, but this does give them opportunities and options going forward. And no one's challenged them. I thought S2G might try and plummet down there, but they've stopped short over towards some of the rockier areas of the map where they can settle in. Aru, though, finding good damage over towards Aurora, our current lobby leaders. And one's already down. Doc's very low. Nade goes long. It's quite good. I thought it was going to roll over the top there. Oh dear me, Scarface once again. Those taps were deadly accurate too.
Yeah, punishing quick jabs to the ribs there. Gonna leave them bruised. Orangutan rocking up. Oh, doing the classic strat. Ain't got time to stop.
Breezing through one by one. Aurora eating the shrapnel, and that's Orangutan taking the heat straight to Aurora. So 104 points is where their day of big earners ends.
I love that from Orangutan, honestly. There's been so many times where they have had struggles on these roll-ups where they'll just roll through and try and get the drive-bys. There they just stop short. AKOP gets out and just hits the shots immediately. Then they can move on because they need to get further in. So big hats off there to Orangutan. Shots from behind there from Ulf, but they're moving directly into occupied territory with 4 Thrives. Zypher's down the backlines there, though. No one's really safe. I think Ulf is right now just trying to profit off a lot of the teams coming in from that eastern edge. Tiamba sending it directly over towards S2G. Oh. This is a hell of a push. Nice shot from Razy, though, over towards 1. But T24 will shut him down.
Mate, punishing reactions with the DBS up close there. Blows them away and loaded slugs into that one, but here's the re-aggression.
Oh, mate. Vitality on the reply. Whoa, they're going to crumble under it. So 4 Thrives keep on fighting. Amidst this as well, S2G were clashing against Tiamba, and the nade has knocked another man, leaving them with only a solo right now that's alive and kicking.
And his aching. I mean, Ulf quickly moved on this mark as well. They heard the fighting. They realized that there was an opportunity to open some space in the circle on the eastern side. They left behind that fight between 4 Thrives, hearing it go on for quite a while. And they're going to be coming in late after this. OG even setting up in front of them, dropping down the barbed wire there for them to wander straight into. Tiamba, it is aching, making him move outwards. Understanding today the peloton won't be moving much further for Tiamba. Try and get some placement points to finish things off. Nongshim Red Force playing down towards that south side. In the meantime, E-Arena took the eastern compound after that shift, and Furia regrouped over towards the western side. So, happened as expected. But Furia does get the better off angle because of that, so well done.
Ida as well. With Emre there getting line of sight back over. It's IQ that suffers from this one.
Damn, well done again.
Yeah, bro. Ida start it off, Ulf finish it. So 4 Thrives removed from the equation here. 7th place, 77 points at the end of the day for them. OG were close by to all this as well. They pulled back when they saw weakened 4 Thrives, didn't overcommit, but they're still amongst basically a bit of a rough sandwich with Ulf and Ida potentially pushing down. Jiggle eaten by the blue as well on Hora's late rotate. That's not ideal.
What's happened there then?
I don't know, bud.
It's an interesting kind of events for Hora.
They love that position, but doesn't seem like it loves it. It loves them right now. Sadly. Aura's going to move down, try and swing over towards OG. And CG, what a shot over towards Lord on Enigma Galaxy. Sleepy will find OG on that one. Oath might want to push a little bit further in, clear out even more space over towards this eastern side. AKOP just trying to swing on down, will immediately get shut down for that. That was a bold maneuver. The rest of Aura moving up. Last player alive is Aru, and he is down and out.
Two very quick pumps there from the shotty in their face, and that's going to finish them. Looked a little bit scary from Sky when he was left behind, but the off-angle peek did wonders. Hamzik's still going, by the way.
The Garand going crazy.
Mate, sniper with a hell of a scope right now.
Yeah. That is great stuff. Great stuff. Not what you expect to see on the last game of the day. Circle centers directly. A very, very kind circle. But it's all this weird rocky ground towards the center here. S2G mostly having control over it. They even have Kamikaze down towards that south side, providing another point for them to move over towards. Aura looking over towards Ida right now, and Ulf still being those gatekeepers on that eastern edge.
You've basically had this blockade slowly shuffling further back from Aura. They pushed in, deal with OG, set the focus up onto Ida. They've got a bit of a read as well where the other potential teams are. Just throw nades over, especially with the visual contact there. A few shots back onto them from Ulf. They've got a bit of a ridge to play off, so they can sort of hunker in. Solus is on the off angle towards the left-hand side. This is his POV here. You can still paranoid though. Compound behind them, that's got E-Arena in it.
Barking, finding final player there from Tiamba. So Tiamba will finish on 8th place, 71 points. Potentially taken over there by Furia, because I think they've got quite a good spot going forward on this one. Sky goes down to Solus, and Kedge will pick up the elimination. So Ulf's still putting up points this game, up to 5 so far, but they are down to 3 players after an early knock and flush over towards Solus. They're making the most of it on this eastern side. I like to see it.
E-Arena, that's a nice readjustment there. Solus being hard confirmed, but that's stolen away by Hora that finally feel confident to push up into the face whilst E-Arena dispatch Alula. Shutting them down now, re-aggression, no fear, holds the line, puts shots on target. Ida getting involved as well. So all fragmented. The 5 elims they got might very well be where they end this one with only a single reserve left. Mormon coming up quick. E-Arena, mate, they're in a good position. If they can pull points out of this game and stay alive, clean up on this battlefield ahead of them, it could be a gigantic slingshot to overtake Aurora.
Yeah, set themselves up nicely for tomorrow. Mormon dropping smokes, trying to create a distraction in the front lines. Emre takes a heavy hit. E-Arena been quick with it so far. Mormon being a massively big player for the team. What a nade over the top. That is a long toss on that one. Sends another for the airburst. It's a little bit of damage in. Swing gets hit hard, and E-Arena is bombarding the front lines.
It's Masher from Swaps, and he wants even more. Sleepy just trying to steal points where possible, and this is now the response play.
It's a backstab right now, actually. Oh my goodness me. And they do catch E-Arena sleeping. Nade goes out, Sleepy very low. One last nade in the chamber, goes too far. Airburst might have been needed to be a little bit cleaner on that one, but Schweppes not quite out. And Ida floundering in the background.
Mormon back to his old tricks. Headshot there onto Darkin to finally finish him off. We see Nonshin Redforce showing up in the Elim feed as well, with Enigma Galaxy similarly taking the hit over towards Godlike, and Furia have smelt this weakness. They're coming in for a close collapse behind the vehicles, putting the pedal down to the metal. With S-Power gone, goodbye Godlike, but now they've got another team to worry about. This is the fight established by Furia.
Pins pulled. All the nades sent over the top right now, looking for Enigma Galaxy. And stitch them up on this side of the map at the moment. Good push out from Fury as well. Love to see it. They knew that they cleared the majority of the space. They get rid of Enigma Galaxy. They're playing essentially straight in towards that eastern side. No worries to the 180 behind them. Enigma Galaxy, though, a very, very quick rotate out, understanding that it's better to regroup, reassess from that location on that north side with cover before they make their next maneuver. They might actually just have to make a full send, full rotate towards the eastern side, despite not knowing what's there, because both S2G and Fury is going to have nasty sightlines over towards if they try and play in from that northern edge.
Nonshit being able to hit perfectly up against Flash, resulting in only Tops barely limping away there. Got back behind the vehicle and pieced out in the driving seat. They've got that 2-2 split with focus still turned onto Rita. It's the angle of Coops in play right here, though. Close quarters connection, spamming with the SMG in the face. Yasser trapped, no escape plan there, and Alula fall off the back of it. Amidst this, we also wave bye-bye to Ida as the last man is dispatched. The arena taking shots over towards the setup from Enigma Galaxy. Hamzig looking so damn sick with this snipe. Ready for a little bit more. You peek out and your block could be knocked off.
CG, you still got the Garan as well. It's very, very cool. Playing to the end here. Hamzy G looking good so far on the long-range peaks. Enigma Galaxy opt not to go for that swing over towards the eastern side. I do feel like this is a bit of a death sentence for them, though. I'm not sure how they're going to extricate themselves from this. S2G looking for another chicken dinner here, though. They have been so consistent with it. They have been so bold in these games and really taking advantage of that fact. And Fury is struggling to make their way out from this western side. Pushing into open ground. Lord explodes one vehicle. In comes the rest, and Schweppes is setting up for the big spray.
Schweppes could steal so much from this. The eye in the sky taking pot shots when they're weakest. The nades thrown from either side, detonating all around as silence finally falls over Furia with him being dropped. Ayala cooking the last nade back, dashes it into Enigma.
Doesn't go far enough, though. The grass kind of obscuring his vision just a little bit. Still over towards the edge, assuming they're going to jump out towards the side as the nade comes in, but both baits unsuccessful. Switching out the JS9. Need that long range to feel fine versus Furia. Ayala sits on the other side. Blue's going to be a bit of a nightmare here. Chief just stayed behind. We got the night cam on board. Not the best time for him either. Watching his team in a real sticky scenario. Like you said, though, E-Arena looking to put up more points, but it's Nongshim Red Force, actually, who might have a good chance here to really set themselves up the rankings. It'd be great to see those rankings, so we can set up for tomorrow where that smash ruling placement would be.
For Nongshim, you're spot on, though. They do thrive in these kind of situations, so let's see if the teams forget about them and they can step back up. Here you go. This is the lay of the land as well, what we wanted to see. E-Arena on top right now. They just lapped Aurora. 105 points with a 7 elimination game and showing no signs of running out of fuel just yet. They've been keeping the intense action on. Tops was the last man from Flash. He had to hightail it, went for from Nongshim a few moments ago, and he's still running away. Looking for a setup center zone to stay alive for a little bit longer, but might be food fed over to S2G.
Pops goes, Hamzy, man, what is this? This is actually insane behavior. But he's making it work. Bayonet on the front, and he is slicing and dicing through the opposition. Pure stabs to the enemy teams. Lobby getting perforated by S2G. Nongshim Red Force might have to move forward with the Kevlar in play at this rate.
Damage done again.
What is he doing?
Shot after shot. The bolt action sending reverberations through the lobby, but now they're going to try and turn this one to an up-close and personal encounter. Nongshim put the pedal to the metal, they drop in close, the nade blows the car away, Hyunbin buckles under the pressure as So Easy hits the deck, Kamikaze, 3 nades in the back pocket, 1 thrown towards him, split the difference, that's the reply back. So Easy trying to keep himself alive. In the midst of all this, we say bye-bye to Furia, and Kamikaze knows that E-Arena are collapsing as well. Nongshim up close, good play done. The pump action silences S2G.
E-Arena off the distance. Nongshim Red Force looking to finish out the game now. What a good push up there. The hero Hyunbin himself does go down, but the rest of the team carries the cape forward and will eclipse out the rest of S2G. So no more chickens for you. Two top teams remaining here face to face. Nongshim Red Force and E-Arena. 3 versus 4 on the cards. There's shots coming through from Mormon. We know how sick this guy has been so far. XZY looking to finish things off. Go by his ABCs, keep this simple, keep it calm.
But is school in session though? Can E-Arena teach Nongshim Red Force a lesson on this one? If they can find a knock, find a pick, they could collapse off the back of it, and we know they've been so damn good in thriving in the chaos today. That could be their outlier, that could be their way to close this with a huge game. Not only take first place, but absolutely skyrocket up to a nice point barrier going into the Smash Rule tomorrow. A lot riding on this for either team. And like you touched on, that one bit of benefit is the manpower advantage for Nongshim. They can play off each other in a slower approach.
E-Arena still have vehicles in play, but Nongshim Red Force, they're on foot right now. Feel the sand between the toes, but it looks rougher right now for E-Arena. Smoke's been sent out, and a big old lineup here from Nongshim Red Force. Still using Tizzy as well as Hyunbin, playing off one another on this little ridge line. Buggy towards the center. Joker pulls out the initial nade. Wait for an opportunity to use it. So easy. Masked by the smoke, gets up towards the hard cover first. Hyunbin, always the first to charge. Crowbar in hand.
Can he smash his way through the defense? No! Mormon asking them to feed him more as he just wants opportunities to show how good he is. The nade is primed. Nongshim lose their edge down to a 3v3, and the nades keep landing on top of their heads so easy. On the rat back around, he's going for the off-angle adjustment. Hyunbin crawling in to try and be saved. XZY committing to the medic play, but Schweppes, an off-angle reposition. The nade barely bounces over. Chip damage done.
So easy behind the tree. They did get the res off. Hyunbin's back up again. E-Arena wasn't able to push forward because the backline support coming through from Nongshim Red Force. Mormon round the side. Molotov prevents the push, but so easy. Sidesteps it. Gets into this one. Hot beat on the card. S12K goes crazy.
He's firing off shots, but these aren't warnings. It's him coming in to show how much damage he can do.
So easy wants to live up to his name as the punishing play arrives. And it's Nongshim Red Force with the chicken dinner.
Showing some force right at the end of the day, and they do force themselves past everyone else on the leaderboard. This will be a nice points barrier going into tomorrow. Nongshim Red Force. Hyunbin has been amazing so far. That aggression that the rest of the team can follow up on is absolutely contagious. Yes, he goes down, but what a follow-up from his team today, right at these finishing moments. And a long day, to say the least.
In a moment of panic, a team that's proved that communication and teamwork has been what's put them in the conversation with championship mentality is what will get them over the line. They dig their heels in deep, they play off each other, save their mate, and then show us that aggression that we know they have inside them. Unsheath the sword blank and chop straight through E-Arena, standing strong in that gladiatorial combat for the final chicken dinner of the day.
And this was a crazy finish from So Easy. Just did not stop moving. Essentially charged over the top of that ridge side and just shut E-Arena down. What a wonderful play there to finish things off. I mean, definitely showing up Hyunbin a little bit there, I would say. And I mean, it's good to see. And I think for Hyunbin, it's almost a good thing that his aggression is contagious, because for South Korea, for a long time in the past, it used to be that they were the team that would dominate from the center, and then we slowly got more and more of these teams, these players, D+ Kia, for instance, who started to bring that aggression. And it's awesome. It is awesome. I feel like I'm getting flashbacks to that right now. I think this team has a real chance. They